From Darling Stadium in Hampton, WHCS Cable Channel 46 presents Peninsula District Football. The Bethel Bruins and the Hampton Crabbers. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We welcome you to Darling Stadium for this battle between the unbeaten Bethel Bruins, 3-0, and the similarly unbeaten Hampton Crabbers, also 3-0. Bob, these are the two last undefeated teams in the Peninsula District. This is a battle for first place. It should be a good one.
Well, it will be a good one, and I talked to Tracy Parker before I interviewed him, and I said, Tracy, is this your best start? And he says, I think my first year, he says, no, we were 2-0 before we lost. So 3-0 is the best start they've had at Bethel since Tracy's been there. They bring a lot of stuff to the game, and one of the young men that they bring to the game that I think is an outstanding ball player is Ananias Boyd, the running back. Good runner, he's a scat back type of runner, but Hampton's defense is tough.
This game, of course, was our inaugural game 21 years ago as we started our 21st season here, actually 3 games into it. But this used to be the game. This was the game that replaced the Hampton Newport News Crabbers Typhoon contest on Thanksgiving Day.
Absolutely.
For a long time, this was the game that everyone pointed at toward the end of the season, and of course we did as well. But now with the schedule and the change over the years, that's not the case anymore. But this is very important because Phoebus has lost a game, Heritage has lost 2 games, Warwick has lost a game, so the winner of this game is really in a catbird seat for the Peninsula District. Of course, Division 5, Division 6, well, that's a different story.
Right. Well, you got Division 5, you got 4 top teams, and you mentioned them, Phoebus, Warwick, Heritage, and Hampton. Division 6 is Bethel. So Bethel needs to keep a winning going on, too, so they can qualify and go on to the regionals at the Division 6 level. And with the insurgence of Jimmy Williams over there at quarterback, now he plays quarterback sometimes he plays wide receiver. They'll run from a shotgun. They will send trips to the one side. So Tracy is doing a lot of more innovative things than he has in the past. So that means defensively you got to be looking for different keys than you used to do with the Bruins.
And of course, Tracy succeeding Dennis Kozlowski as the coach had to take some time to get the team and his system in place, and he can be a little more innovative now because he does have some time in with the kids, with the system, and with his coaches. So I'm sure that's helping him be a little more flexible, if you will.
Well, that's true too, Tim, but he does have some new coaches this year. And that's one thing I have said over and over again. One thing that Hampton High has had over the past 20-some years is a solid coaching staff, anchored by not only Mike Smith, but Danny Mitchell and Alvis Mann. That group right there is a core that has not changed in 20-some years. And when you get that kind of continuity in your defense and offense and the way you're coaching, it makes things a lot easier. You can really look at some things that you wouldn't maybe look at until 3 or 4 games into the season.
Well, right now, let's go back in time, talking about that core of coaches that have been together so long. Bob had a chance to talk with head coach Mike Smith of the Hampton Crabbers.
Mike, first of all, congratulations on a nice win over Heritage. That's always a big game. You guys did fine. Tonight you're playing a team, Bethel High School, undefeated early in the season. But, Bethel's always a good opponent.
Well, I don't know about Heritage being always a good game. Last year were 2 bad games. The times before we usually won all of them. But Bethel's certainly coming here 3-0 and have played very well in all 3 of their football games. So they've got a good football team, playing well on both sides of the ball.
Right, and that's what I was going to ask you. Defensively, I thought you guys do an excellent job. But you got some kids that can flat run the football.
Well, we had to run it early because we weren't throwing it too well the second game, but we threw it better last week. And we got some guys that run pretty well. We're not real big, but we run pretty good, and I think that's probably been our saving point this time.
Right, now defensively, you feel your defense is where you want them this time of the year?
Well, you always want to get better.
Right.
I thought our defense has played very well in both scrimmages and for most part in all 3 ball games. Of course, in the Heritage game, we had a little breakdown there, but not many people can cover the ground like Michael Johnston, and when you give him a crease, then you have some problems. Then we turned the ball over twice down and then gave them a short field to work on. Other than that, we played pretty good on defense both times. We're young, got a lot of work to do. You know, we're going to get better. We've only got probably 3 seniors playing on that defensive team.
Well, that's good. Well, listen, good luck to you tonight.
All
Coach.
right, thanks, Bob.
Good enough.
You know, talking with Coach Smith and a little bit about the team, you got Jimmy Williams, a bit of a controversy there. He used to play for Hampton. Now he's the quarterback over at Bethel, like you said. But talking about that team, now you got Stephen Wyatt, who is the quarterback this year. He's got Alvin Banks and a stable of running mates. So you've got a real diversified attack. Stephen Wyatt runs the ball well. His passing is going to have to improve a little bit for him to be more effective to give that double threat.
Well, that's true. And the first game that we did, he didn't get a completed pass to his team. And last week they did complete some passes. So the weather, the wind, when we did that game, the wind was really bad. And if you're an inexperienced quarterback and you're trying to guide the ball, it's going to float on you. And I have a feeling that's what happened. He's got a lot more confidence after the game the other night. But you know, Tim, Hampton High won't have to get their kids up for this game with looking over on the other side and seeing Jimmy Williams, who played 2 years for him, started last year. You don't have to tell these kids, you want to hit that number 1 over there. I think they got that in their mind already.
Well, there never was any problem getting motivated for this battle anyway, but that just adds a little to it. And you and I talked about before the Heritage game that Hampton played, the revenge factor, and you kind of downplayed it, and I understand your point. But it really was a big factor there. And I think, quite frankly, I think Stephen Wyatt was a little pumped up, if you will, for that game because it was so important to them to win that Heritage game, to regain that respect that they feel they might have lost.
Yeah, and I believe that too, because Mike told me, he said that was the worst game we ever played. He says we basically just did not function as a team. We did not do anything that we normally do, and we were embarrassed. And you know, you don't embarrass Mike's team, and those kids felt embarrassed when they came out, and they showed some caliber in the game, because they could have folded after they went behind, but they didn't. They stayed in there, and in a typical Hampton team, we're going to bend a little bit, but you ain't going to beat us.
Well, now let's talk a little bit about Bethel before we go to the interview. Here you've got Jimmy Williams playing quarterback. You also got another quarterback that Tracy Parker is integrating back and forth into the game. And then, of course, you have Ananias Boyd, who, and again, I won't steal your thunder from your conversation with Tracy, but he's just been a mainstay on the peninsula seems like for years and years, but it's been a couple of years.
It's been a couple of years, and he's a shifty runner and a good runner. But what you do is if you're Hampton, you get to the hole where he is, you get him before he can turn his shoulders upfield and square his shoulders. You make contact with him before he can get out in the open and make some moves and make you miss. So don't let him get beyond the line of scrimmage. Hit him in the backfield. Let him get the short yardage, but nothing big.
Easier said than done.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go back in time right now as Bob had a chance to talk with Tracy Parker, the head coach of the Bethel Bruins.
Well, first of all, Tracy, congratulations, 3-0. Great start in the season. You hit Hampton early. People say it's good to catch Hampton early in the season because they get better as they go along, but I'm sure you figure you will too.
Well, yeah, I don't know about that. Hampton's pretty good at any point during the season.
Right, so what do you look for them tonight? What kind of problems are they going to create for you?
Well, overall, they have good team speed, they have good size, and they're going to be a very good football team.
About you, now look at Bethel's side. If you were critiquing Bethel, where would you say your strong points were?
Probably in our running game right now. We're doing a pretty good job on the ground, and they can contain us there. I'm going to put them in a good position.
All right, now you got a young man, Ananias Boyd, who just has always, for the last few years, it seems like he's been the workhorse. Still a workhorse.
Oh, definitely, and he'll be the workhorse tonight too.
Passing game, you're using 2 quarterbacks. Is that a problem with timing with your team, or have they adjusted pretty well to it?
No, it's not a problem. That's something we work in practice, so it's just part of our regular game plan.
Good enough. Well, good luck to you tonight, Coach.
Thank you.
Good enough. Stay tuned for tonight's starting lineups.
Back here at Darling Stadium in Hampton, Tim Cole with Bob Hintz. We have the Bruins about to enter the field to our left, and the Hampton Crabbers will be coming up to our right as they are huddled in the end zone to our right. Bob, you and I hadn't mentioned anything about the weather, but it is a definite fall, crisp evening. A little bit of a breeze, but not too bad.
Well, nothing like we had with the Hampton Heritage game, Tim.
No, it was much too windy. Tonight's contest is brought to you by Zooms, your friendly neighborhood store with 14 Peninsula locations to serve you. By Pearls, located in Phoebus at 15 North Mallory. Give them a call at 722-1907. And in part by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the funeral director. They're located at Hampton Center Parkway. Give them a call at 827-4670.
And Tim, while I got a chance, I do want to mention that we will pick a player of the game from both of these teams tonight, and those players will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Engraving Inc. They're located at Tab Square on Route 17. For all your engraving needs, contact Dave at 596-8850, and Dave Buckwall, of course, is the owner. The shirt comes from the Islander Sporting Goods. They're located in Pocosin. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment, uniforms, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is owner. And I do want to take a moment to offer our condolences to Dave Buckwalder, who lost a brother to a heart attack a couple weeks ago, just 52 years old. And our thoughts and prayers go to him.
Certainly do. You're looking at Carter Ficklin, who is the referee for tonight's contest. We'll give you all of the names of the officials in a moment. We'll have the ceremony at the center of the field momentarily, just before the kickoff for tonight's very important contest. And there you see the officials' names. Carter Ficklin is the referee. Chris Owens is our umpire. Chip McErlin is the linesman. Jim Mayhew, the line judge. Craig Moore, the field judge. The back judge is Gilbert Simon, and the clock operator is Tim Ewing. While we have a moment, as we see the teams coming in, just real quickly, I want to mention Craig Moore, who is a regular member of this squad, is here tonight. But Craig was a member of the regional FEMA response team that's been in the nation's capital supporting rescue efforts. Again, our hats off to him and all those brave individuals who have done such a great job.
And what a job they've done, Tim.
All right, let's go down to the field for the opening game ceremonies.
Clock operator, that will be Tim Ewing.
As I said, guys, I'm Mr. Ficklin, your referee. It's Mr. Owens. The other officials are Mr. Mayhew, Mr. Simon, Mr. McErlin, and Mr. Moore. The field clock's official unless we tell you otherwise. Purpose of identification, we can call Hampton white. We're going to call Bethel green. Guys, when there's a penalty, whichever captain's closer, come to me. I'm going to give you what I think's best for your team first. Remember, some penalties have as many as 3 options. But I'll give you what I think's best for your team first. But remember, I have to take the first thing you say. Guys, only one thing we want tonight is good, hard, clean football. If there's any talking between the teams, will you guys help us with that? Thank you for your help. Okay, Hampton has won the toss, and it's going to be receiving down here. Hampton has won the toss.
Hampton has won.
Good luck, captains. Have a good ball game.
All right, Hampton will get the ball, and we want to thank referee Ficklin, who is one of the better officials in the area. He certainly does a great job game in and game out.
Well, he does a great job helping us.
Yeah, and we appreciate his wearing that mic tonight,
yes,
so we can get those explained to you. I hear Scotty barely. I'm going to have to, I'm not sure. Did you hear what he said?
Nope.
No.
But while he's trying to talk to us, I will tell you that Hampton Channel 46 won an international award. This is the Telly Award, and it's a video that they submitted called Past, Present, and Future. And it, won the same award that was won by HBO, the Sci-Fi Channel, Touchstone Pictures, and Discovery Channel. And no other school channel in the country can qualify to say that they've won this award. But also want to tell you that they went on and won the Best of Show for the same video. It's a Platinum Aurora Award. Director Don Chiraus, editor Andy Foley, written and produced by Mike Nowinski, and executive producer Scotty Bowers. We do want to take our hats off to those gentlemen. What a great job, and really shows what the Hampton school system can do.
All right, we are set to get this one underway. We've got the ball teed up believe Christopher Ellis is going to be our kickoff man here. I'm still waiting, or is it in fact? We'll get that for you in a minute. I can't figure out if it's 59 or 40, 55 or 49 is going to be.
Bethel should be kicking, should be 55.
All right, then that's who that is. That is number 55. Joseph Solomon. And you can hear referee Ficklin telling us why we're temporarily delayed. I think we're set to go now. Back deep to receive for the Crabbers, Stephen Wyatt and Alvin Banks. Kind of a swirling breeze, but not too bad tonight. And we are underway as the ball will be taken at the 10-yard line. This is Banks. Banks with some initial running room all the way out across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. So a fine position for Hampton.
What a nice wedge that the Crabbers, that the Crabbers showed there, and he just got behind his blockers, Tim, and found a seam. Picked up some nice yardage. Good return.
28-yard return, 50-yard kick.
28 yards on the return. We had a little music in the air.
Yeah, we're picking up a radio station tonight. Maybe it's just us picking it up.
Is that filling in the back? 37-yard line. Hampton 1st and 10. Just a 12-minute quarters in high school football, for those of you who may not be aware of that rule. And the initial play is a handoff and a loss by Banks as the defense was there. Here's the Hampton team on offense.
On center, we have Thomas Wilson. The guards are Lamont Davis and Steve Williams. The tackles, Travis Creighton and Edward Small. The tight end is 89 Darrell Allen. Flanker 11 William Jennings. The wide receiver Andre McGlone. Quarterback Stephen Wyatt. Fullback is who we have in there, 42 Solomon Bassett, and the number 8 Alvin Banks is a tailback.
Give you the Bruins on defense after they threw Hampton for a loss of almost 2. Wyatt, nothing. He is back to the line of scrimmage, and that is all. In on the stop that time was number 54, Jonas Watson. And you see the Bruins on defense. Leto and Perry are your guards. The tackles are Overton and Ellis. Watson and Bates are the defensive ends. Jones and Solomon are the linebackers. Altman and Hill are your corners, and your safety is James Williams, also the quarterback, the young man who transferred from Hampton. 3rd down and about 11, a little more than 11 for the Crabbers, as the Bruins defense has stopped them cold on 2 plays. Wyatt wants to throw and overthrows, almost had it picked off. Jimmy Williams got a hand on it, but it was incomplete, intended for Terrence Bryant, number 89 for the Crabbers.
Tim, that ball did kind of float a little bit because the receiver, 89, wide open. Was that Darnell Allen was wide open, but the ball just went right over his head.
Yeah, do stand corrected. It's Darnell Allen, a number change for us here.
Yeah.
All right. Whitehead is back in deep punt formation as the Bruins just simply stuffed Hampton there. This one is high, not particularly long punt. Takes a Hampton bounce inside the Bruin 30, and it'll be down at the 29-yard line.
Tim, I got a chance. I do want to recognize the coaches for the Bethel Bruins. Head coach Tracy Parker, assisted by Mike Brown, Levi Wincanona, Jerry Jenkins, Alvin Lewis, Adrian Weidman, James Daniels, Wayne Jones, and Michael Mitchell. For the Crabbers, head coach Mike Smith, assisted by Alvis Mann, Danny Mitchell, Lanny Franklin, Kenny Gilliam, Brian Gerzak, Mike Hagens, Mike Norton, Myron Newsom, and Shannon Smith.
35-yard punt, no return on the punt play, and the Bruins will have it, and Williams will take it on a quarterback keeper. Ball came loose, but he was down at that point. Gain of about 3 out to the 33. Let's see exactly where they place it. Looks like they might actually give him forward progress almost to the 34. So call it a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. And we'll give you the starting offensive and defensive lineups. That shot, by the way, there we go. The Bruins on offense. The center is Simmons. The guards are Lewis and Lewis. Adams and Waterton are the tackles. The tight end Overton. Keene is the split end. Wide out is Sprite. Bates is the fullback. Boyd is the tailback. And Jimmy Williams is quarterback. 2nd and 6. And this is Spite, and he will not get back to the line of scrimmage as he is thrown for a loss.
Yeah, lost a little bit there, Tim. We'll give you the Hampton defense.
Check, that's Derek Bates. I want to correct myself before you do that.
Okay. On defense for the Crabbers, we'll give that to you in just a second. There we go. Stephen Williams and Charles Jones at the tackles. The ends are Creighton and Johnson. The linebackers are Banks and Fenner. The outside linebackers, Callis and Schuler. The corners are Anthony Williams and Clayseld Brown. And the safety is Travis Richmond.
So the defense stops the Bruins for a yard loss on that play. Brings up 3rd down and about 7. Williams, play action, wants to pass, get some pressure. Rolling, looking, has a man open, got him at the 47-yard line, down to the 44.
They got a flag, Tim.
But a flag down back around the line of scrimmage, or actually a little downfield. Let's see how they call this one.
I think number 77 is patting his chest, Tim. I think he was went downfield.
That's the signal from referee Ficklin, illegal man downfield. Here's the replay. Won't be able to see it there. It was a fine running pass and catch by Spite from Williams, but it'll be nullified by the penalty.
Well, here Carter Ficklin will give us, and I know that hurts.
There was an eligible receiver down the field against the offense. Replay 3rd.
So the big gain, a 1st down in Hampton territory, is wiped out by the penalty. And now the Bruins will be faced with 3rd and 13. Bates alongside of Williams in the shotgun. Bates blocking well, and now Williams decides he's going to have to run with the ball, and he will go out of bounds across the 30 to about the 32-yard line, but it'll be 4th down and about 8 for the Bruins. So both defenses have come up big here early in the contest.
Tim, one thing I noticed there, Jimmy Williams running with that ball, he was holding it out like a loaf of bread, and Tim, that can be real dangerous, as you know. That ball can be knocked out of your hands real easy. There's a nice shot.
Well, now,
fans,
who's standing on top of the stadium?
Yeah, Tim, and I'm getting dizzy.
That is our blimp cam. Oh, a line drive right to Banks at the 35. Good downfield pursuit by the Bruins, but he gets away from them initially and picks up about a 5-yard return. But for a moment there, looked like he was trapped and made something out of nothing.
He sure did, Tim. He made some nice moves, made a couple potential tacklers miss. Pearls has been in business since 1947, and they have it all. Drapes, carpets, tile, vinyl, blinds, both mini and vertical, custom designed for your needs. Give Pearls a call. They're located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. The number is 722-1907.
Kenneth Hopkins, as you saw in the replay, doing a nice job of tackling Alvin Banks at the 45-yard line, where the Crabbers, after the change of possession, will gain some field position. Low snap, handoff to Banks, and he gets a yard. That's about all, as both teams' defense has dominated the early play here.
Really have, and you know, the coaches on both sides, Tim, are going to be making some adjustments, not only during halftime, but also during this first half with the spotters up here in the press box for both teams.
I didn't get a chance to mention, but both of these teams have come in off of the first 3 games they've played. Of course, they're both undefeated, but they have had real good offense. Hampton averaging right at 40 points a game, and the Bruins 28 points a game. But so far, it's been a defensive battle for the first 5.5 minutes. Flag down in the backfield as Wyatt picks up a couple of yards, actually maybe a yard out to the 47. But a penalty flag in the area that you would probably think you'd see illegal motion.
Yeah, Tim, and I believe that's exactly what happened. The flag was thrown by Carter Ficklin.
Here's the replay. See if you can detect the motion.
Yeah. I didn't see the motion. Must have been.
It looked like perhaps Banks might have moved his foot from the. Yeah, just right after he moved. So
yeah.
They're going to discuss the options.
Oh, they're going to take a penalty, yeah. Well, I don't know if you would have done that or not, Tim, because he really lost a couple yards.
Yeah, it'd be 3rd down and basically 10.
It was motion against the offense. Replay 2nd down.
So instead of 3rd and 10, it'll be 2nd down and about 14. So 6 of one and a half a dozen of the other.
Tim, the Hampton's basically been playing out of the shotgun.
So they're marking the ball at the Hampton 41. No score here in the first quarter. And out of the shotgun, this is Wyatt. Wyatt is such an elusive runner. He is hard to bring down as they finally get him at the 49-yard line. But he picks up about 8 yards on the play.
I was going to say, that was a nice run to pick up a good 8 yards.
But you're right, both teams have really taken a snap in every play from both sides of the ball from the shotgun. So they mark it at the Hampton 49, and it does bring up a 3rd down and 6 for the Crabbers. About halfway through the first quarter, 6:34, and the clock is moving. No score. Hampton and Bethel. This game videotaped on the 28th of September, the year 2001. Out of the gun. Wyatt's got a man hit. He completes the pass at the Bruin 37-yard line. That'll be a 1st down for the Crabbers. That was Will Jennings on the receiving end of a very fine-looking pass. Wyatt looked a whole lot better on that pass than he did in Italy that he did.
Right, you notice it really showed some confidence. We just stood back in the pocket, watched this, just sit there and just made a nice throw, Tim. Didn't try to guide it or anything. And Will Jennings from his flanker position just run a down and in and was wide open. And the Crabbers receivers have been open every game that we've done this year.
And to Wyatt's defense, the wind was a serious issue in that Heritage game.
Well, and you need to make sure that the fans understand that Heritage never completed a pass either, Tim, other than to the other team. So,
right.
I mean, it was both quarterbacks.
First down of the ball game. This is a fake as Wyatt comes to the near side and then is drilled on a nice play by Derek Bates, who's a two-way player for the Bruins. He did a good job of preventing Wyatt from picking up big yardage. As it is, he picked up a good 5.5, second down and 5.
Watch this. He comes from his defensive end position, Tim, and it was a nice fake in there.
Yeah, he actually got a little bit tangled up with Banks for a moment. But that was a nice-looking play, is right. Well, so Wyatt has really been impressive as a running quarterback. And, of course, this is my second time to see him play this year. He was a superb runner out of the tailback position previously.
Well, Tim, and also if he can get his confidence in passing, that's really going to open up this offense for the Crabbers. And here we got just like a student body to the right side.
And Alvin Banks takes the student body to the 1st down at the Bruin 25-yard line.
What a great job following your blockers that time. Banks, Tim, didn't try to outrun his blockers. Got that 1st down, very important. Move the chains. You're down in Bethel territory. You're putting the pressure on their defense. And, you know, and all the games that we've done is we watch the replay, see how he does the cut in here. But if you can score first, that's a psychological boost.
Absolutely. Banks is a big kid, number 8, 5'11", 200 plus. Banks splits in the backfield now winds up in a flanker position. And this is a straight run up the middle.
That was your fullback, Tim. What they did, now if you look at Bethel's in a 6-man line and they bring the 2 linebackers up, so if they get them real close, it's like an 8-man line.
That was Darylyn Fenner who carried the ball for the Crabbers.
So we'll have 2 fullbacks back there. Darylyn Fenner, number 44, and number 42, Solomon Bassett.
Who's coming in as we speak.
We get sometimes, you know, our numbers get confused.
These are a lot easier to see than their dark uniforms with the white numbers. These are pretty much easier for us old guys to see. 2nd down and about 8. On the option, this is Wyatt, and Wyatt is down close to the 16-yard line. Needs to cross the 15 for a 1st down, so it'll be 3rd and short for the Crabbers.
Tim, I don't know if you saw that or not. We'll have it on replay, but he made the fake and then took off, and one of the linemen actually looked like he's got a hold of him right there.
Yeah.
he just ran out of his grasp.
He's so quick. 3rd down and short. 3rd down and a little more than 1. Need to get across or to the 14-yard line to get the chains moved, and now they call a timeout. Don't know whether
trying to draw off.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so, Tim. I really believe that's what they were trying to do.
Well, our good just going to mention Zooms with their Beantown coffee. I could use some coffee tonight. It's chilly out here. This is football weather tonight, buddy.
I tell you, Zooms will have your coffee and your pizzas and your
the fried
subs
chicken.
and the whole thing. The chicken is great.
Let me tell you, I got a real urge for some fried chicken tonight. You know, every now and then it just happens. I've been staying
you
away
want me
from
call
it
them, tell them you're going to get the big bucket ready?
Oh, no, I
don't
wouldn't
mean
bother.
the little. I mean the bucket.
I said tonight. It was the other night. I called my wife. I said, you know, what do you want to have for dinner? She says, takeout, reservation, something like that. And I said, I'm really jonesing for some fried chicken. So.
You drove right by it, stopped, and got
I stopped,
chicken.
and it was all ready, and it was fresh, and I had some potato wedges and took it home. I was a bad boy. It was good.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about our people tonight. Instant replay, Andre Mattingly on cameras, Nathaniel Braxton, Susan Bowers, and Ron Baton. Engineer Don Chiraus, graphics and audio, Andy Foley, director Scotty Bowers, and we got Juan Brown and Desiree Lewis doing the
mobile cable technician.
There you go. And Mike Nowinski is helping out somewhere.
We have another guy too, don't we? Don't we have the blimp guy?
Brad the blimp guy.
Yeah. Let's not forget Brad.
Yeah. They had all kinds of names
the blimp guys.
Yeah. Well, used to call us the blimp trio, but it was just two of us. But they would call him Brad all kinds of things. But I said we're just going to call him Brad the blimp guy.
Well, while we were having fun with that, the Crabbers got the first down as they are close to the 13. Call it between the 13 and 14.
And that's Brad Sindel.
And it is a first down.
Whoa.
And this is good defensive stop in the backfield as the Crabbers were nailed at the point of handing the ball off. That is Bassett.
Yeah, but he was hit by, looked like 54.
Because that's not the first time I've seen that already, as Jonas Watson came up there to stop him cold. In fact, threw him for about a yard loss. So Bassett, the fullback, in the middle of the line, and nothing happening as the Bruin defense stiffens.
Really
Second
did.
down and about, let's call it 10. Might have lost a half a yard on the play. Out of the gun. Strong right side, Wyatt, and he is stopped after a short gain. That almost looked like a wing tee. They had like three.
Almost like a single wing.
Single wing, yeah, that's what I was saying. Not wing tee, a single wing to the right like that because he had everybody slotted.
Tim, the blimp is owned and operated by Crow's Nest Photography. Crow's Nest Photography.
As you watch the replay, ball is marked at the 12-yard line. It brings up third down and a long 8, short 9 for the Crabbers. They can, of course, get a first down without scoring. Wyatt, quick slant, got his man, touchdown.
Man, was right open, Tim. They gave him an awful lot of cushion.
Andre McClone was wide open.
What a great job. Nice pass by Stephen Wyatt.
That was a beautiful pass. Wyatt timed that one perfectly, and when you do that on that play, it'll be successful more often than not. It's just too hard to defend.
Well, and you give the wide receiver that much of a cushion, Tim. The defensive man didn't start coming in tight to him until the ball was in the end zone.
Whitehead tacks on the extra point, and Hampton, with 1:06 remaining in the first quarter, takes a 7-0 lead on the touchdown pass from Stephen Wyatt to Andre McClone, as we'll get a chance to watch it again at the very end of it here, as you see McClone already in the end zone with the ball before contact is made. How many yards was that pass?
That was, looked like, what about 10, 12, what was that? Because you said they could pick up a first down without getting into the end zone. So what did he say it was?
12 yards.
12 yards. Very good.
So that is the initial score. Hampton.
That's a quick first quarter.
Yeah, it moved along pretty quickly. Do a lot of running plays and some completed passes. Seemed like that Hampton Heritage game was just an extremely long game. There's again our shot from the blimp. Working on that and get the overall, just to give you a little different perspective. That's probably, Scotty, about 50 feet up in the air?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good. Good guess.
It's higher than I want to be right now.
All right, under 50. Whitehead nails the kickoff.
150.
150. All the way back to the 3-yard line. And a good-looking return out across the 25-yard line. That is Curfew Spite who returned the ball for the Bruins. They'll mark it at the 28-yard line, 150 feet in the air. So the Bruins.
That was a nice kick by
Whitehead? Yeah.
Whitehead. If the ball is caught in the end zone, Tim, they can't run it out.
Right. About a 25-yard return. Took it at 3 out to the 28. Williams. And this is Ananias Boyd, and he does not get anything. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, if that.
Tim, young number 9 for the Crabbers, and that's Wilson Banks Jr., one of the linebackers, caught him, almost in the backfield. He got back to the line of scrimmage, but Ananias Boyd is one of those. If you remember, I was talking earlier that you got to get him before he can get in the open, and the one way you're going to do it is you got quick linebackers.
Bruins have the play being brought in by Eric Carr. They're going to have to hurry, though, because they are rapidly running out of time on the 25-second clock.
Running trips to the top of the field, Tim. 4 wide receivers.
Just gets the play off. Williams, feeling some pressure, steps up, got away from another, and he's still going and dragging tacklers for a first down to the 40-yard line.
And he's still hanging that ball out there, Tim.
Yes, he is.
But he's hanging on to it tight.
If you're Tracy Parker, your throat's got your heart in the middle of it because you're just thinking, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? But that is the end of the first quarter as we'll watch the replay. This is an excellent effort. But look at this. He just, as you said, Bob, carrying it like a loaf of bread. You are wide open for a fumble when you carry the ball like that.
Well, and Tim, there was quite a few missed tackles that time, too. And I know that the Crabber coaching staff is not going to be happy with that. You got to wrap him up. You got to take his legs out from under him, and that'll stop him. And while we do have a minute here, Tim, I do want to talk a little bit about Zooms because they're giving an award to the senior player on each one of the Hampton teams this year who has demonstrated academic excellence. These players will be awarded plaques at the school board meeting after the season. We'd like to thank David Allen and Zooms for their continuing support of WHCS and our student athletes.
That was, I should say, the initial first down of the ball game for the Bruins. And, of course, we've mentioned the fact that both defenses have done a good job, although Hampton did have success on that last drive, obviously, with the touchdown. But the defenses have dominated here for the first 12 minutes. Yeah, Bob Killen was mentioning what a nice crowd we've got. There were days when you couldn't get in this place for the Hampton Crabber Bethel game, but certainly with the climate of our country and all the things that have been going on, I take my hat off to the folks who are out here trying to get back to some normalcy as much as can be expected after these terrible tragedies of 2 weeks ago. They'll try the left side. Ananias Boyd picks up a yard, maybe 2, out to the 42 before he is taken back.
Well, one of the young men he happened to run into, a young man by the name of Stephen Williams, Tim, is 350, 6'3".
Yep, watch this. You'll see him run into number 70, and he'll just...
He's just pushing him back. I mean, it's like a scrum there. The whole line moved backwards when he got involved.
Mark it at the 42-yard line, a gain of 2, second down and 8. Double wideouts to the right side. They've got Kyle Keene over there along with Boyd. Williams wants to pass, has some time, has plenty of time, can't find a receiver. Now he'll scramble to his right, throw over the head of his intended receiver, the aforementioned Kyle Keene, but that one was actually thrown over his head and short of Ananias Boyd and almost picked off.
I'll tell you, I'm impressed so far by Jimmy Williams. He's really showing some athletic ability of avoiding the potential tacklers. He's just running away from the grasp of people, but on the move like that, it's a little harder to throw it.
So it brings up 3rd down and 8 at the Bruin 42.
Well, you look for either maybe a pass play, Tim, but you got to be aware of the quarterback draw, especially with Jimmy back there at quarterback.
Trips to the right. Williams out of the gun. Got a man open over the middle. Oh, is he nailed after the ball went by? And the ball goes incomplete. The young man who took the hit was, again, Kyle Keene. And he was rudely hit by Andre Schuler, who probably jarred a couple of his teeth loose. I don't know if you'll see it on this shot or not.
Right there.
just as you go out of your picture, the ball well overthrown, and it could have drawn a penalty flag, although it was pretty clean. Oh, they've got the block on. A short set, and the Crabbers are going to get 6 out of this.
And that's 33 to pick the ball up, Tim.
Yep, that is Andre Schuler, the aforementioned hitter. Picked up the block. He didn't block it, but he got it. And I watched the setup, and I was kind of taken back by the fact it looked like Solomon was not nearly as deep as he should have been.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get a chance to determine for sure who blocked it. The one thing I do know for sure is it was returned by Andre Schuler for the touchdown. So just like that, the Crabbers are up on top 13-0.
And when your defense can score for you, that just really pumps them up a little bit more.
That punt was doomed because of the short setup. This one almost blocked. It is up, and it just barely got over for the extra point by Whitehead. So with 10:48 left to go in the half, the Crabbers lead 14-0.
If we have that a replay on that block or not, I was going to try to pick up who blocked the punt.
I don't know whether Scotty knows this or not, but he is very faint in my headset tonight. I'm having a hard time hearing him. Are you the same, Bob? Or?
Yeah. Loud and clear, Scotty. Loud and clear.
What I was trying to say was, we can't hear you, boss.
But you didn't say boss.
Do we have the replay there, Mr. Director? Do we know who blocked the punt? Okay.
One of the rushers.
Was it Killen is one of the
guys rushing the punt.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you, Bob. We had a malfunction on the replay. Apologize.
Was that one of the House of Ushers or House of Rushers or what?
House of Rushers? One of the rushers blocked it.
I think it's one of the linebackers got the
Oh.
In any event, Schuler did pick it up, and he did race in for the touchdown. So the Crabbers' special teams comes up big to make it a 2-touchdown difference. Want to make the fans aware of the fact that we had publicized that we would have a second game we were going to do this weekend.
Oh, yeah, do want to apologize for that.
We won't have that game. We originally had intended or hoped to have the Phoebus-Denby game for you that's being played Saturday night, but scheduling situations prevent us from doing that. We apologize for that.
And we apologize to the Phoebus Phantoms and Bill D. I had gone over and talked to him and thought we was doing a game and just didn't work out.
But we will have Phoebus as our next Friday night game. This is Boyd on the reverse, and he is stopped at the 37-yard line.
Nice little wrinkle. Nice little wrinkle.
Our next game will be the same Bruins and the aforementioned Phoebus Phantoms. That'll be next Friday night, October the 5th. Watch the replay here. Going to see this. It's going to be handed off on kind of a nifty play here, but unfortunately Boyd ran right into the pursuit. And the Crabbers played that well to prevent a big return.
Well,
the ball is at the 37.
If you're going to do a reverse, you need one guy going and getting everybody to go one side of the field. And really what happened, Tim, was the Crabbers really didn't have to change sides of the field because that's where they were going. But he picked up some pretty good yardage.
19 yards.
19-yard return. Looked like we were going to have a timeout for a moment there as referee Ficklin started to signal it, and then they decided they could get the play in time. At least now they won't, because they'll have a flag for delay.
And Tim, again, Bethel's come out in that formation where they've got 3 wideouts to.
Still first down.
And you'll notice it towards the bottom of the field this time, you've got number 2, number 80, and number 89, and then you have a wideout at the top of the field, so you've got basically 4 wideouts.
Yeah, they've been using this set now a lot here in the first half. Williams on the option, and Williams does get it pitched at the last second to Boyd, but boy, by then the Hampton pursuit is there en masse.
Tim, there's 7 Hampton Crabbers around that ball carrier.
Well, when you have Boyd's reputation, he will draw a lot of attention.
Watch the replay, Tim, and he actually really lost some yardage here, but he really pitched that ball at the last possible moment.
34-yard line is where they mark it now. It's 2nd down and 13 to go. So they picked up a couple of the yards on the play after the 5-yard penalty. Williams now takes the snap under center, and Boyd gets the call. Short yardage gain on the right side. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, he got just a little bit more than what they lost on the previous play. Maybe picked up an extra yard. But, with the Crabber defense and they fired up, they're saying, okay, if we can stop them, maybe we can block another punt. And the offense is thinking that's not a bad deal either if we can get points on the board without being on the field.
9:23 left in the first half. 3rd down and 9 for Bethel. They trail by 14 as a late player on the field, and that's going to cost them. As
they call a timeout.
Well, I'm not sure whether they got the timeout called or not. Problem was, looks like they
yes,
may
they
have.
did. They called a timeout, Tim.
They thought they didn't have enough players on the field. A player who I won't embarrass by telling you his number.
Well,
and he may have just been taking instructions. I don't know the circumstances.
That's what I'm thinking.
He's running out.
One of the coaches says, "Hey, what are you doing here?"
Yeah.
And that guy says, "Oh, I'm supposed to be on the field." So he's running out there to get on.
Call it confusion or whatever, but it costs the Bruins one of their timeouts. Each team has used one here. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. 9:10 left in the first half. If you joined us late, the defense for both squads has played well. The Crabbers did get a sustained drive, capped by a 12-yard pass to Andre McClone from Stephen Wyatt. And Aaron Whitehead added the extra point. And then on a 33-yard blocked punt, Andre Schuler picked up the 6 points on the special teams for Hampton, and Whitehead's extra point made it 14-0, and that's where we are with a little more than 9 minutes left here in the first half. Battled for first place in the Peninsula District. Got a man in the neutral zone.
We got number 88 on the Crabbers, and I should be calling numbers, but
well, they may have been enticed, and that apparently is going to be the call. Yep.
Yeah, there was movement on the Bruins side of the field.
There was a false start. Action simulating action at the snap by a member of the offense. Still 3rd down.
I love the way he gives a good explanation.
Yeah. See if we can pick it up here.
Well, see, he didn't get into the neutral zone.
And I didn't see the movement on the line either, but
it was the wideout. Yeah.
Needless to say, they're much closer to it than we are. Nonetheless, it's 3rd and 14 now, and Williams is going to be sacked all the way back at the 20-yard line. So that will be a sack credited to Travis Creighton, number 75, who got Williams for a huge loss all the way back to the 21. Here's the replay.
Watch him coming from the right. No, this is right here. He's coming from the right side, Tim.
Williams actually, and then there was pressure coming from the left side in the form of Jack Francis, number 87, which caused him to start running, and then Creighton had him. 12 yards. Dozen yards lost on that play brings up 4th down and a country mile, 4th and 26. And the Bruins desperately trying to avoid another fiasco. We got a flag down on the play, and that one goes through the hands of Banks. He's pretending like he didn't touch it, and he may not have, but it looked like he might have.
With the flag, Tim, if I'm the Crabbers, I'm going to say kick it again if it's against the Bruins.
Oh, yeah. Because Banks elected not to try and return it. Referee Ficklin will tell us.
There was a penalty for an illegal formation against the kicking team. 4th down will be repeated after enforcement of a 5-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
He's getting his 4th down and 5-yard penalty.
Carter's trying to do a little too much play-by-play for us here.
Well, I tell you, I appreciate these guys doing this, though.
Sure do.
You know, we'd have thought, okay, illegal motion because that's it, but it wasn't. It was illegal formation.
Yeah, it's really nice to have a bit of an explanation, and that's one of the reasons we've always desired to have a mic on the referee, and they do a good job of informing some of us who aren't particularly well informed, like me. Try to be, but a lot of this stuff is, you never know for sure. Nuances. Left-footed kicker, again, short set. He got it away. This one hit Banks, and that ball is live. Looks like Banks will recover it. Yeah, the Crabbers get it back, but that ball did hit him.
Tim, that's about a 20-yard difference.
Yeah, no, that was a well worth it because, and again, I'm not sure of the kicking game for the Bruins. It looks a little shaky.
Yard punt.
Hey, so you heard a muff occurred. All right. Carter says, now I'll turn my mic off. Now
well,
that
that's
my
okay.
sinuses are all clear.
Cleaned up my sinuses. I needed that.
So the Crabbers, leading by 14, will have great field position to start this one at the 43 of Bethel. Williams out of the gun. Wants to throw, and it's a little too tall for McClone, who has the touchdown catch. Incomplete.
I noticed that the safety, Jimmy Williams, number 1 for the Bruins, Tim, is just kind of playing back there playing like a center fielder. And you notice that he's not really guarding anybody. He's going to where the ball goes.
Here's your replay. Just a little tall. I want to mention that our halftime activities will be shown, the band performing will be shown at the end of tonight's contest. So please stay tuned for that. At the end of the ball game, we will have the halftime ceremonies with the Bethel High School marching band. Ball is loose, and Wyatt finally gets it and ends up with about a 2-yard loss.
Tim, that was just the center completely throws the timing off on that ball, on that play. Watch it. The snap is he never did catch it good.
Yeah, he just never really got a handle on it, and was fortunate to keep it and only lose a yard or two. 3rd down and about a dozen. Ball at the Bruin 45. Crabbers going backwards on this possession. Wyatt has lots of running room, and he is still going, and he's got the first down at the 30-yard line.
Tim, he ran through 2 tacklers.
Well, he's a very elusive runner. There's no question about that. And he got a big first down on a 3rd and 12. Got more than enough for the first down to the 30-yard line. And I can see Tracy Parker.
You see the bounce in his step? Watch this move right here, Tim, through 2 players.
And then kept going, got 5 more yards after that.
But he split the tacklers.
Yep. So the first down after the 15-yard gain by Wyatt at the Bruin 30 on 3rd and a dozen. They get the first down.
Watch McGlone. He's split out to the bottom of the screen. Oh, going the other way.
And they probably wish they hadn't, although now, for a moment there looked like some running room, but that closed down very quickly.
I tell you, again, Jonas Watson.
Yeah, Jonas Watson. When he hits you, you've been hit.
So talk a little bit about Jonas Watson, number 54.
Here's the replay.
He's a senior. He's 6'2", 215, right here.
And give credit now for the pursuit of number 49, Christopher Ellis, who caused Wyatt to have to reverse his field and caused the play to end up that way. That's a big loss. That's
Yes.
all the way back to the 42-yard line, a 12-yard loss. Second down and 22 for the Crabbers.
Okay, you just come out with your second and 22 play.
That's right. We got that one in the book. Hampton trying to remain undefeated, as is Bethel. Now we've got an official's timeout. Looks like Hampton's going to take the timeout.
Well, they couldn't get the formation the way they wanted it, so.
7-0 Heritage over Woodside.
So with 5:41, there you see the story of the scoreboard here. Hampton, the visitor tonight. Of course, all the Hampton schools share Darling Stadium for their home contests, and so it's never really an away game when you're here in the true sense. There's my buddy, Kenneth Silver, the award-winning photographer for the Daily Press.
How much does he pay you?
He doesn't need to pay me. I have to tell you something. Every time you look in the sports section, and this is unsolicited,
Unsolicited.
you pick out an action shot. You find a shot of some guy diving for a ball or tumbling in the air from a tackle, and I guarantee you, you don't even have to think twice. Look down in the corner, photo by Ken Silver. This guy is good. He was the one that sloppy game we did, the championship game up there at Richmond that time.
Oh.
He got that great shot
Yeah.
of the crabber running over people, literally running over people. Anyway, enough about Ken. That'll be another $10 at least, Ken. Guy comes up here with 2 hot dogs at halftime and doesn't even share them with me. Look at Mr. Wyatt, Stephen Wyatt, getting all that yardage back and then some.
Tim, he makes some moves and spins and just makes it look like slopping tackling.
He is so elusive. To the 25-yard line. This was from the 42. 17 yards, yep. Now watch this.
Nice block there by Fenner.
Look at his feet, always moving. I mean, just stutter steps, a lot of short steps, looking for the spots. He's just a natural runner, and he is quick.
He just followed Fenner right up the middle, and Fenner picked up the linebacker and let him go one-on-one with the defensive backs.
Instead of third and long, it's 3rd and 5 over the middle, down to the goal line. He is not quite in.
Oh, man, it was close.
Inside the 1.
And that was 89, Tim. That was,
well, no, that's Darnell Allen.
Yeah.
The name change.
That's what I was saying.
Used to be 55.
Darnell
He's 89. I thought you were going to do the.
No, I got him crossed off.
Cross him off. So it's 1st and goal inside the 1.
Well, it took 2 downs to get to 22 plus, right?
Yeah, 2 downs, 42 yards. That was right. This was a pretty pass right on the numbers.
His knee came down before the ball went over, I guess.
But missed getting in the end zone.
I'd have given it to him.
So the Crabbers threatening to break this game open. Wyatt under center, and Wyatt will keep it himself, and he'll score.
Easy.
So Wyatt goes in from 1 yard out.
Tim, I tell you, with him being on the money passing the ball, it's this really makes this Crabber team look much better, doesn't it?
20-yard run was that? No, the one before that.
Well, by Wyatt?
It was a pass.
Pass.
20 yards.
24. Blocked extra point is.
That just took too long. Before the holder got the ball down there for Whitehead.
Bobby was checking with me on the pass. That was they went from the 42 to the 25, and then the 25 to the 1. So there'd be a 24-yard
pass. Yeah. You doing stats for Killen tonight?
I'm helping when I can. He said you're gonna help me do play-by-play. I said, good enough.
I quit helping.
You were mandated.
You just
Bruce
asked,
told you to stop.
Bruce says, Bob, that's not your job. I says, oh, I'm glad Tim never told me.
That's right. The secret. So Hampton now up by 3 touchdowns.
Oh, by the way, Brent Musgrove said to tell you hi, and anytime you want to come by and look at his big new screen TV, just feel free to give him a call. Come on by.
And bring a towel so the drool won't get all over his.
Well, he's on the other side tonight because Hampton's on the visitor side, and he might show up at halftime, but I don't think so. But he said, I said, well, you won't mention that to him. He just kind of grinned at me, and I said, well, if he doesn't show, I want to get the dig in.
That's right. Whitehead skies the kickoff, taking it to 4. Still going. Getting to the outside. Got a little running room. Across the 30, almost to the 34-yard line. A nice-looking return.
30-yard return.
That's, again, number 2, Curfew Spite. He's done a nice job on the returns. Here's your replay. Looks like he stopped there. Oops, no he's not. No he's not.
Yeah, he picked after you looked like he stopped. He picked up almost another 10 yards. That was a good shot of Susan Bowers.
A nice, crisp evening here at Darling Stadium.
Well, I don't think they got the shorts on.
Low 60s. No, neither do you or I.
Okay, new quarterback.
New quarterback, and he throws to the old quarterback, Jimmy Williams, who does play wideout, and he picks up a huge gain all the way down to the Hampton 42-yard line. Bruins really need to get something positive before halftime.
Well,
here.
that's Kyle Franklin, Tim, and Kyle, of course, last year was a quarterback.
Watch the replay here. And he had some time, stood in the pocket and threw it right on the money all the way to the 42-yard line.
And they got double wideouts at both sides.
24-yard pass completion.
Shotgun formation again.
Again, plenty of time, and again, connects. This is Curfew Spite for a gain of about 9. Mark it at the, let's see where they mark it. Oh, that's, forward probably just looked a little further than that.
Well, I gave him 8 yards on it, but
I had him down a little closer to the stick, but 8-yard gain. Yes, he was at the 33, and they marked him at the 34, but I won't get into that.
Pass before that one.
Williams, Jimmy Williams.
and there's the pressure, Tim.
Yeah, there's the pressure. That one is a loss back to the 40-yard line.
And that's 33 for the Crabbers that was in there, Tim, and that's
Mr.
Andre Schuler. Again, we've talked about Andre a couple times tonight.
He's got a kick block return for a touchdown.
He showed
made a couple of nice hits.
A little on defense, and Schuler plays one of the outside linebackers for the Crabbers.
So the ball is at the Hampton 40 after the loss. 3rd down and 8.
This is a big down for the Bruins.
Huge down. 2:30 and the clock is moving on the draw play. Ananias Boyd, and a good job, just tripped him up. And let me make sure I get that number right, because that was an excellent play. That is Darylyn Fenner, number 44, who got a hand on him and prevented him from getting the first down, because he's about 2 yards shy. And here's your replay. Watch this. You're going to see Fenner make the stop to prevent the first down. It's going to happen right there. Tripped him up and slowed him down just enough. But they are going to go for it on 4th and 2. Less than 2 minutes remaining. Clock is moving here in the first half. Pitch to the near side. Boyd, he is going to be stuffed. He's still struggling, but he will not get back even to the line of scrimmage. The Crabbers defense will take the ball on down.
Tim, people are going to question trying to go wide against the Crabbers on that, but it was just like a quick pitch is what they were trying to do, get Ananias Boyd out there, but the Crabbers were ready for it.
Yep, that was, and it was a toss to the short side, so there's a lot of second guessers that could come out on that one. But
well, you think, most people think just go straight ahead, you got a better chance of picking up that 1.5 yards. But
hey, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
That's right.
Bruins get a man on the field late. Wyatt scrambling, and he is stopped after a very short game. And 1:39 on the clock. Clock is moving. Hampton with 1 timeout remaining, and the Bruins with 2 here in the first half. Crabbers 20.
Excuse me, Tim. Will Jennings is bringing the play inbound into the quarterback. Wyatt sometimes goes over there and gets the play, but when you get that running, you need to catch your breath a little bit.
Just started to say the score is 20-0 as we approach the 1-minute mark here in the first half. Wyatt again feels pressure, gets away from a couple of tacklers, still going, and picks up a beautiful block and Wyatt is still going until he's finally pushed out of bounds, but not until he gets a first down at the Bruin 48-yard line.
Tim, I would have swore he was tackled 2 or 3 times for a loss.
He is just an amazing runner. This young man
He is really showing it tonight.
Watch this. This is worth
One
watching
right
a second
there.
or third time.
There's
He's
2.
He's down. They got him. Nope, they don't.
Oh,
what a block.
there's the block.
He got a block.
Wasn't that a nice block?
Yeah, I wish I could pick that up.
14 yards.
14 very tough yards on that play as they stopped the clock while they reset the chains.
Tim, that had
went
to
out
be
of
one of
bounds.
his wideouts that came back and blocked for him, and I would
Great
venture
job.
the game to say it may have been Darnell Allen.
This is Banks. And Banks picks up a couple of yards and more importantly is taken down inbounds, making the clock continue to move.
Well, they stopped the clock.
So now a timeout will stop the clock, and that'll be Hampton's final timeout here in the first half. So the Crabbers trying to get some more points on the board, knowing that this quality Bethel team is going to put up a good fight in the second half.
Well, here's that long run, Tim, and while we watch that, I do want to again mention if you have any need for drapes, call Pearls for all your drapes with a custom design by the interior decorator Ray Paris and Tommy Thompson. They will do a free in-home consultation. Pearls is located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. Call 722-1907. As for your custom design drapes, decorator Ray Paris and Tommy Thompson, give them a call.
Stephen Wyatt has been the offense for the Crabbers in this contest. He has 74 yards on the passing, 74 yards passing, and he's got 56 yards rushing on 11 carries. So
Notice he's thrown to 4 different people.
Yeah.
89 twice and 1165.
yeah, he's been mixing it up too. He's got 4 different receivers that he's thrown to here in the first half. Wyatt having a superb first half for the Crabbers. Second down and 8. No timeouts remaining. Out of the gun over the middle. It's batted in the air, down, incomplete. Had 3 Bruins around that ball. I guarantee if one had been able to pick it up or keep it from dropping on the ground, I should say.
I think that was 30 Godfrey Benson that got his hand in it, but the linebackers dropped back in that zone, Tim, and you got to get the ball over the top of them.
Here's the replay. This was not a good pass. It was thrown into 3 potential defenders, and it's one of the rare times in this first half that Wyatt has not done something extremely well. Third down and 8. Clock stops with 40 seconds remaining. Got double wideouts to the near side. Got Banks in the slot. Out of the gun. Wyatt throws. Got his man, and his man is out of bounds after he gets the first down. So
nice
that'll
move.
stop the clock. Good move. 32 seconds remaining.
Looked like number 11, Will Jennings, Tim.
Jennings makes the grab at the 36-yard line, so the Crabbers will be able to take the time to call a play. Clock stops with the out-of-bounds play.
Well, that was a nice move on Will Jennings' part, Tim. He went down, got enough yardage for the first down, and then immediately got out of bounds to stop the clock.
Seems simple, and it seems like,
Yeah.
but it takes some, you get caught in the motion, and you think, well, if I go across the field, I can pick up big yardage.
Yeah.
And then the coach puts you on the bench for another quarter.
Well, you got to be disciplined and know what
Right.
what you need and what you've got. Just take what the defense gives you, and that's what he did.
First down. Banks makes the grab and goes out of bounds at the 32, so he picks up about 4 yards, not much, but he got the catch and stops the clock with 25 seconds.
Well, Tim, on that play, he came out of the backfield. Good job that time by the defending linebacker to pick him up.
So the Crabbers inching the ball down the field now at the Bruin 32. Second down and about 6. Wyatt going deep. And he's got a man in the end zone.
Oh,
Incomplete.
in and out of his hands, Tim, but what a nice try.
Well, a good job on defense, too. Lorenzo Altman was right on top of the defender, and apparently the Crabber is shaken up on the play.
Tim, he came down hard on it without, on his back. Probably got the wind knocked out of him.
Let's hope that's all it is.
But
Here's
he
the
almost
replay.
just made a spectacular catch.
Yeah, he landed somewhat awkwardly, and then, as you said, probably had the wind knocked out. Let's hope that's what it is. That would be that'd be an easy thing to come back from, although at the moment I guarantee he doesn't think so.
Can't tell who that is, Tim. I think it may be number 15. I'm not sure.
I
No,
think
it's
that's
11. It's Will Jennings again.
Yeah. He's just gotten a little shaken up, but I think he's going to be all right. They're going to help him off the field, and he's able to come off under his own power, so that's good news. So 17 seconds remain. The incomplete pass, of course, stops the clock.
Well, and Tim, if the Crabbers can get a first down, that'll stop the clock. They got about 6 yards to go.
Jennings, the leading receiver now, 2 grabs for 46 yards here in the first half. But he'll come out. 17 ticks remaining until halftime. Wyatt will throw it in the end zone, and it is batted away with 10 seconds on the clock, and 4th down for the Crabbers. We'll watch the replay here. Again, both teams have used the shotgun extensively here in the first half. Wyatt just threw that one up and said, look, you go down on the post pattern and I'll see if I can't get it to you.
But you can see who number 1, Jimmy Williams, was coming over from his safety spot to help defend. When you put the ball in the air, put that much air underneath the ball, your safety can get over there.
4th down. Over the middle, he's got him. That's Banks. Banks is going to try for and is in the end zone with 2 seconds remaining.
Whoa! My goodness, did you see how he went in? Uh-oh, we got a penalty flag. It may be on celebrating or something. Watch this, Tim.
Wow, what a spectacular way to enter the end zone. But again, the touchdown will count if it is a post-play penalty.
I think it is.
Referee Ficklin.
There was a dead ball, unsportsmanlike, against Hampton. It's a 15-yard penalty. The extra point will be attempted from the 18-yard line.
That makes a 28-yard extra point, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it makes it a little difficult. Of course, if you're Crabbers, having had one blocked the last time, you'd like to go for 2, but you sure have to think twice about that with this kind of distance. Yeah, they were getting ready to go up to the line, and now they're going to put the 15 yards on there. So 2 seconds remain as the Crabbers score a 32-yard pass. 32-yard pass from Wyatt to Banks, the second touchdown pass of the first half for the Crabbers. McClone, the receiver on the previous touchdown pass. And it looks like they will, in fact, go for 2. As the Crabbers, probably Jennings' replacement is late getting on the field, but does get here in time. And he is the one the intended extra point try was for, but couldn't hold on to it. So no penalty flags as I can tell, and it remains 26-0 with just 2 seconds remaining in the half. And it didn't take long for the Crabbers to add another score. Here's the replay of the touchdown.
And I tell you, Tim, he went up in the air, and the defenders carried him 5 yards into the end zone.
He did. He left his feet at the 5.
He ended up about 5 yards deep.
Yeah, his momentum was unbelievable. It was like looked like the Fosbury flop there. It looked like he was doing the old high jump thing, leaning in and going backwards into the end zone. But Alvin Banks has made this a 26-0 halftime contest, barring a score of some sort in the last 2 seconds, Crabbers will go into the locker room up by 26.
You might just onside kick this, Tim, or squib kick it or something.
Yeah. Just to make sure someone doesn't break a big return for you. Again, our next game will be next Friday, October the 5th, here at Darling Stadium. We'll have these Bethel Bruins, and they will be playing Bill D's Phoebus Phantoms. It'll be my first opportunity to see the Phantoms this year.
I got to see them when they went over and played Norcom, Tim. Very impressive defensively.
Yeah, what about that last weekend? The Phantoms lose to Warwick, and then Warwick loses to Woodside.
And then look what the Phantoms did to Heritage.
Yeah.
Held Johnson to a minus 16 yards.
That's amazing. That young man to be held to anything less than positive yardage is a huge story right there. Well, that is the final play of the first half. We've reached halftime, and our score is Hampton 26 and Bethel nothing. We'll return to Darling Stadium for the third quarter of action after this brief timeout. We are back here at Darling Stadium as the two teams are returning to the field. The score is very much in the favor of the Hampton Crabbers with 26-0 our score. Statistics in the first half. Did you say was something you wanted to say?
No, I didn't say a thing.
I thought you wanted to say something. The Bruins rushed the ball 12 times for just 11 yards. Their leading rusher was Ananias Boyd, 7 carries for 24, but of course you had some sacks and some losses in there. Passing, Jimmy Williams, 2 of 4, no interceptions, total of 32 yards. And the leading receiver was Jason Williams with 1 grab for 24. Just 2 first downs for the Bruins, and they were penalized twice for 20 yards. They had 43 yards total offense, and the time of possession in the first half, 9 minutes and 48 seconds. They also had 85 return yards on 4 returns. For the Crabbers, in the first half, they had 18 rushes for 67 yards. Their leading rusher was the quarterback Stephen Wyatt, who had 11 carries for 56 yards. He also completed 6 of 12 passes for 120 yards and 3 touchdowns. The touchdown passes were to McClone. No, actually, they didn't have 3 touchdown passes. They only had 2, Banks and McClone. So,
we're hearing a little bit of the officials down there, Tim. So that's some of the things. You got a little more to go?
Just a little bit more. Will Jennings was the leading receiver, 2 grabs for 48 yards. And Crabbers had 9 first downs. They fumbled the ball once, did not lose it. And they were penalized 4 times for 20 yards. They had a total of 187 yards offense in the first half. And they had 87 yards on returns on 4 attempts.
Tim, we will pick a player of the game for both of these teams tonight, and those players will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Engraving Inc. They're located at Tab Square on Route 17. So Engraving needs contact Dave Buckwalder at 596-8850. He is the owner. The shirt comes from the Island of Hardware and Sporting Goods. They're located in Percosin. They can meet all your sports need with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment, uniforms, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. Dave Roberts is the owner. And I do want a real little quick public announcement here that this Wednesday, November the 3rd, Ron ESPN Baton will meet.
Taking that shot, by the way.
We'll meet with the young ladies over at Lindsay Middle School that want to run indoor and outdoor track. And then the following week, he will be at Hampton High School to meet with the young ladies at Hampton High School. He's going to coach indoor and outdoor track. And this young man, Mr. Ron Baton, has coached many All-Americans. So, young ladies, if you're in one of those 2 schools, you need to make sure you find out the times of those meetings and be there.
What are the meetings and times again?
It's next Wednesday at Lindsay, which is the 3rd of November. And then the October. What did I say, November?
Yeah, I'm just
moving right along here. October. And the following week at Hampton High School.
There you see some of the fans waving at Ron's shot, and we can still hear the officials more clearly than we care to.
Well, that's okay. If you need mini blind or vertical blinds, or do you need blind repair, and I know you need blind repair.
That's right.
Pearls is one of the few places that repair blinds. Give them a call at 722-1907 and ask for Tommy Thompson or Ray Paris. That's Pearls in Phoebus, 15 North Mallory.
All right, the Bruins will get the ball to start the second half. Down 26-0. The scoring, Andre McClone on a 12-yard pass from Stephen Wyatt. And Whitehead's extra point made it 7-0 with 1:06 to go in the first quarter. Then Schuler returned a block punt, 33 yards, made it 14-0. Wyatt a 1-yard run, 20-0, blocked extra point. And then Banks a 32-yard pass with 2 seconds remaining in the half to make it 26-0. That's where we are as the Bruins are out across the 25-yard line with the return to start the second half. Nice looking return again by Curfew Spite, number 2 for the Bruins.
Young number 15, Claycell Brown, on special teams was in on the tackle that time. And that's one thing that Hampton has shown is good special teams tonight with that block punt. You know, anytime you can pick up some points from your special teams, it really helps.
Crabbers, as I mentioned, averaging better than 40 points per game, and already have 26 here as we start third.
Well, Jimmy Williams is back at quarterback.
He gives to Boyd. Boyd slants off the right side, picks up yardage out to about almost to the 30-yard line, so that would be a gain of about 5.
Well, again, you see what direction he's running, Tim. He's running in an angle. He's not getting his shoulders turned upfield, and that's one way you stop a good runner. We got a timeout, officials timeout for something.
One of the Crabbers was slow to get up, and I guess he is all right now. He's coming off the field.
Was that they get the number? It looked like one of the linemen, Tim, big 77. Leonard Johnson looked like he may have been shaken up a little bit, but he got off the field on his own power.
2nd and 5. Williams picked off right to the defender, and the ball is knocked loose. Looks like the Bruins got it back.
And the Crabbers turned the ball right back over.
That was Anthony Williams who made the pick. We're getting some kind of serious interference on our headsets here in case someone in the truck.
Jim, I don't know if you can see, but on the sideline there, Jimmy Williams, number 1, was in on that tackle. And the young man, who was it that intercepted the pass?
Well, the pass was picked off by 23, Anthony Williams.
Well, Anthony Williams put his head down and ran right into Jimmy Williams, and that's why he fumbled the ball, but it also shook up Jimmy Williams a little bit.
So the officials are going to sort this one out and tell us right now.
During the run back after the interception, an official on the field had an inadvertent whistle while the ball was in possession of the Hampton running back. The interception, at the point of the inadvertent whistle, Hampton will be awarded possession.
Ooh, is that, boy, that is a tough call.
Well,
I mean, how do you resolve that to be fair?
Well,
an inadvertent whistle.
Inadvertent whistle means, you stop, and it was one of the officials that did this, and of course the fans don't hear what we hear.
Well, the fans at home will hear it, and of course Tracy Parker would like to have more of an explanation, and we'll try and get the PA announcer the information so he can share that with the fans. But that's a tough call. Watch the replay if we have time to show it. They're lining up for the play here. But an inadvertent whistle by the officials, and now they're going to have a little further conversation. Watch the replay of this action. You're going to see Williams just throw the ball into coverage. That was just not a good throw. And, of course, we can't hear the whistle on that replay. But that's what happened is you heard referee Ficklin explain it very clearly The inadvertent whistle occurred while the ball was still in the possession of Hampton, and therefore the fumble did not officially occur. Of course, the Bruins will dispute that for you. The Banks, Alvin Banks carries inside the 10 down to the 9.
Has the option of either taking the ball, replaying the down, or taking the ball at the point where the inadvertent whistle occurred. That's a terrible call. Well, you can't. I mean, inadvertent whistle is just it. It's inadvertent. I mean, it's a shame for Bethel, but that's just the way it is. It's really
Ball is marked inside the 9. It's second down and about 4, almost 5. Crabbers leading by 26, trying to add to that now. And now we've got a penalty flag down as there's really everyone is just kind of out of sync right now, it would seem.
I think we got a timeout, Tim.
Bruins called a timeout.
And again, what happened, according to Carter Ficklin, is and if you're a Bethel Bruin fan, you're saying, well, that's bad. I mean, here we had the ball. We got the ball back, turned it over, and we got it back. But the one of the clock operators has the book that says when you have an inadvertent whistle, then the team has the choice of taking it where the ball ended up or the point where the whistle blew. Well, Hampton wasn't where the whistle blew because they maintained possession. I mean,
sure.
I mean, if it was the other way around, Bethel would have taken it too. So,
well, and the further explanation is the inadvertent whistle is just that. It's a mistake.
That's right.
It shouldn't have happened, and if you're the team who's running the ball back in that case, which was Hampton, and you hear the whistle blow, your tendency would be to let up. So, you know, in all fairness, there's no real easy way to be fair with that. But you have to have a rule that covers this, and that is the rule. So, in any event, it's second down and about 5. Wyatt keeps, and he is close to the 2-yard line, which would be enough for a first down.
But Tim, I don't know if you noticed what happened that time, but one of the Bruin linebackers shot the gap, and Wyatt just went to the hole where he left. Mm-hmm. What a nice move.
First and goal at the Bruin 2. And the clock has been stopped.
Watch this replay, Tim. Now watch
sure.
the linebacker come up right there, and watch him come through.
Yep.
And then Wyatt goes right through the hole that he vacated.
The clock should be running since the first down was set, but it's still at 10:24. First and goal at the 2. And Wyatt is snowed under. Ball came loose. Let's see who's got it. Bethel. So the Bruins get a break as Wyatt coughs it up, and Bethel will get it at their 4-yard line.
And we have injured player Stephen Williams is down in the end zone, Tim, and it looks like he may have hurt his leg or knee or something. But he is in real agony.
And if he, and I certainly don't mean this as a pun, if he's lost, it's a big loss. This guy plays both sides of the ball, and he is a huge factor. Let's see if we can, by any chance.
There's the ball that popped out right there.
Well, you saw the referee throw the beanbag in, which indicates the ball has come loose. Williams will get up and.
Oh, that's a good sign, Tim.
And he's even
jogging off a little bit.
And it's a 5.5 on a Richter scale when that young man jogs.
A 5.5. That's been pretty precise.
The young lady upstairs says, "Oh, that's."
We could hear that. Hey, we're picking up Killen when he talks. We're picking him up loud and clear.
All right.
That was terrible.
All right, so the Bruins, now the Crabbers, well, they've got everything is totally out of sync. This whole series is out of sync, and now who's called the timeout? Hampton has, because they didn't have enough players on the field. So the game has gone askew, if you will. Here. Gotcha. Thank you, Carter. Thank you. Going to put him on the payroll. 10:17 left in the third as we have a sputtering start to the third here.
Oh, man.
As the Crabbers didn't have enough players, so they called a timeout to make sure they did.
Well, if we're getting all these timeouts, why don't we send somebody over to Zooms and pick up some
there's
potato wedges and some coffee.
Some fried chicken.
Yeah, you keep talking
can't-
right
well-
there. I like the pizza, Tim.
Well, the
do
pizza's
like the
good.
pizza.
I have no complaints about the pizza, but if you're ever in the mood for that fresh cooked fried chicken, I mean, still hot, right out. You know, what they charge for that is so insignificant. I brought it home the other night, and Donna says, "Man, this is good." You know, and it was big-sized chicken, and it wasn't this, wasn't this stuff that sparrows or anything. This was big.
We're talking good,
fresh, cooked, not greasy. Anyway, back to the game.
good portion.
I'll be back in a minute. You just keep going for me. That Zoom's right around the corner.
I can't do that because I can't do play-by-play. You won't let me, see. And Ruth will get on me if I do.
You can't do play-by-play while I'm still here.
Oh, there are rules that go with
There you
that.
go. All right. So the play by Boyd gets the Bruins out of trouble. They were down inside their own 5, and that big run by him gives them the ball at their 17 and a fresh set of downs. Now to the near side. Whoops, wrong way. And got away from one, but he won't get away from all of them.
There's just too many crabbers.
Well, Charles Jones, 64, had a hold of his ankle.
He was not letting him go, was he?
Nope. So Boyd will lose ground back to the 14-yard line. He'll lose almost 5. Second down and 15 to go. Ball at the 14. Clock moving now with 9:15 to go in the third quarter. Hampton 26 and Bethel nothing. Hampton had a great opportunity to add to that score, but Stephen Wyatt coughed it up. Williams rolling to his right, looking, now wants to run, and he does, and he is pushed out of bounds close to the first down.
Depends on where they spotted Tim. I think he might be about 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah,
short.
I was looking at the
Oh,
wrong
you were
marker.
looking at the other one. No, he's still got about 8 yards to go, don't
it's
they?
not at all close. I was looking at the wrong marker. Here's your replay. Williams.
Wait a minute. You made a mistake?
No, just
Thought you did.
thought it did.
Oh, okay.
I make plenty of mistakes. That's no problem. So the clock stopped with the out-of-bounds play. Ball is marked at the Bruin 20, and it's 3rd down and 8 to go for Bethel. Jimmy Williams sets up in the gun. He's got Boyd in the backfield with him. And a lone receiver to the near side, way split to the near side. Williams is looking for him, and that's the man he wants to go to. Or actually, it turned out he went to the short man over the middle, and that one was intended for Willis Overton.
Yeah.
And incomplete, and that'll bring up a kicking situation for the Bruins. Want to remind you that this second half is brought to you in part by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the funeral director. They're located over at Center, what is that called? It's called the
Hampton Road Parkway? Or
Yeah.
somewhere like
Yeah.
that. And Armstead.
Parklawn Wood Funeral Home. This one taken at midfield by Banks. And Banks is to the 45. So a 5-yard return for Banks will give Hampton good field position. And so a real weird chain of events on that previous series where Hampton picked off the pass, fumbled it, but the inadvertent whistle kept the ball in Hampton's possession, but then Wyatt fumbled inside the 5, and now the Crabbers have it back at the Bruin 44 with the same scores we had at halftime. Hampton and Bruins, the Bethel Bruins, each with a perfect 3-0 record coming into the game. One of them will not be so perfect after tonight. Out of the shotgun, Wyatt. Straight running play, left side. He's got good yardage across the 40 down to the 38-yard line.
He just followed his fullback. Again, that was Bassett, number 42, leading the interference. When you watch it on the play here, just direct snap out of the shotgun and just follows his fullback.
Picks up 6, 2nd down and 4. Again, rarely has Wyatt taken the snap from under center. And again, same type of play. This one results in a 1st down close to the Bruin 30-yard line. So Wyatt, again, with good yardage, picking up about 8 or 9 on the play. And a fresh set of downs. Watch the replay again. Basically the same play. He just follows the blocking left side
And
between the tackle and the end.
That time the fullback picked up a linebacker that kind of shot the gap. That again, when a linebacker shoots the gap and you can get to that gap, which Wyatt does, he's picking up good yardage.
Keeps working, why not?
Well, you hadn't stopped me yet.
Yeah, they do that time as he gets back maybe a yard to the just inside the 30.
Well, he went a little more to the outside that time. Before, he's been staying more inside and being able to make the potential tacklers miss. But this one, he went more to the outside here.
Well,
see, because the hole was blocked, right?
Exactly.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
But, you know, that it's a little bit boring in the sense of repeating the same kind of play, but it makes a lot of sense. If you are not able to stop that play, why would you not run it?
Right.
They were picking up 7, 8, 9 yards each time, and that time they finally were held to 2. 2nd down and 8. Out of the gun. Wyatt this time will try to pass. Eludes a tackler. Another one. Now he'll run. He is so quick, but a nice open field tackle. That was just about as nice as that. They draw it up. Joseph Solomon, who's also the punter, on an open field tackle on Stephen Wyatt. You've done something. Watch this replay. This was a fine defensive play by Solomon. Just went for the ankle.
Did a great job of closing in and taking the angle away.
Ended up with no gain. Looked like Wyatt was going to find some running room to the near side, and Solomon's tackle kept him at the 29-yard line. So long huddle now as they are mapping out this play. 3rd down and 8. Taking a long time to get this play off, and they just did, or did they? Now we got
movement somewhere because
you're right. Well, the delay would have come from the referee. This was the line judge.
Prior to the snap, there was a false start against the offensive team. Still 3rd down.
Yep. Don't need to elaborate on that. Clock restarted. 5:35 left here in the 3rd. Hampton's had the ball almost the entire 3rd quarter. Wyatt wants to throw. He's got Jennings open downfield, but not for long as the defender closed very nicely. That was Lorenzo Altman, who number 3, who was unable to cover Jennings, but all of a sudden, by the time the ball got there, he was there. That was a good defensive play by Altman.
Yeah, it really was, because it was a good pass by Wyatt. It was right on the money.
That ball, and Scotty had a comment about it, but he's right. It was the wounded duck play. That ball just took too long to get there. It got held up by the wind and allowed Altman to get over there and bust the play up. So the Crabbers looking at 4th and long, 4th down and 13, appear to be going for it. They are. This is Wyatt, and Wyatt fumbles the football. It really won't make much difference because he would have given it over on downs at about that same spot anyway. So the Bruins defense does the job. Now they'll need the offense to get something going if they want any chance at all to win this game. Here's your replay. Wyatt again out of the gun, and right here holding that ball rather precariously, and it cost him that time, or in a sense it did, but it was going to be 4th. It was 4th down. It would have gone over on downs anyway. So the Bruins will start from their 35, and they'll do so with 5:05 to go in the 3rd quarter. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. And we remind you, next Friday night, the 5th of October, we'll be back here at Darling Stadium. Hope you are as well. Good crowd on hand tonight on a cool, crisp fall evening at Darling Stadium. Beautiful Darling Stadium.
Well,
still the gem of the Tidewater area as far as football facilities are concerned.
No doubt about it.
We've got a young man who is being motioned off the field, apparently has a cut I'm guessing.
So that's Franklin,
Yeah,
Kyle Franklin, the other quarterback, Tim.
Referee Ficklin was indicating some kind of problem, whether it's he's got a cut and he's got some blood on him, or I'm not sure what, but they would not allow him to stay in the game. Okay, no blood, but some kind of equipment problem. Interesting. I tell you, Carter's doing a nice job of explaining stuff.
Well,
tonight.
I tell you, I'm glad we have him because we'd be in the dark.
I wouldn't have had a clue why that was called, but Williams is the quarterback out of the gun. Gets some pressure, now throws, and is batted away. On a night. That's our man Schuler.
Play.
Andre Schuler. He has been outstanding on defense tonight.
I tell you, Willis Overton knew he had that pass, Tim.
That was an excellent job of closing. Watch this. Williams throws it, and just at the last second, Schuler gets a hand in there. And that was the explanation they made. It's some kind of illegal. The equipment became illegal. The play. 2nd and 10. Williams got a man wide open. Did he go down there? Yes, he went down to one knee, just shy of the first down. He got up and wanted to go, but in high school ball, as everyone knows, once you're down, you do not have to be down by contact.
Yeah, and that was Solomon wanted to continue to run on that one.
No, his knee went down.
Yeah, there's no doubt his knee was down when he caught the ball. All right, so look at that replay.
Yep, perfect. So just short of the first down, it's 3rd and less than a yard. And Franklin is the quarterback, and he throws, and it's tipped, and it's incomplete for Williams. And that'll bring up 4th down, and you just can't go for it at this part of the field, I don't think. I believe we'll see the kicking team come on.
Tim, again, that was, and we've called his name before tonight, and that's number 64, Charles Jones. He really putting pressure on the quarterback, but I look for him to go for it. I mean, you're behind, Tim. You've only got 4 minutes left in the quarter, and you only got one quarter after this one. So
do you try the hard count?
Yeah, try. You got to do a hard count. Got to do something.
No, quick snap, and they do get the first down. And Boyd has that and plenty more. And he won't go all the way, but he's at the 30-yard line. He had one man to beat.
And sometimes that happens when you're going you get their defensive up there tight, and if you can pop and run her through that, and we've seen that in the pros.
Absolutely, saw it not long ago.
Boom, right there.
Saw it in college ball last weekend when the same thing, stacked up the line, and once you get past that initial defense, there's no one back there.
27 yards.
But Boyd picks up 27 yards and a crucial first down for the Bruins. That was a big play in this ball game. This is Boyd again. And Boyd has good running room. He's got another first down inside the 14-yard line.
And that's what they're doing right now, Tim, is using Franklin, the quarterback, and just handing the ball off to Boyd and letting him be the workhorse now. Whether before it was Jimmy Williams running and passing the ball.
I said 14. I stand corrected. It's the 19, but it is enough for a first down. They looked at it and decided to move the chains. And we've got whistles.
Whistles everywhere, and that's usually offense.
Okay. So the penalty. First down and 15 at the 24-yard line.
They got Jimmy Williams split down to the bottom of the screen, Tim. You can see him right there.
Yep, and he is the man they're looking to throw to at the end zone. No, busted up on a nice defensive play again over there, Schuler, and this time also Anthony Williams, who made that interception earlier for the Crabbers. A lot of good defensive play tonight by the Crabbers secondary.
Yes, it really has.
Watch the replay here. This ball again just kind of floated up there, and
well, the idea, Tim, is in that case you're hoping that Jimmy is bigger than the defensive backs, which he is. He's taller than that he can go up and he's a basketball player and say, okay, maybe he can pull that down.
Penalty flag down is second down and long.
And guess what that could be? Bet it's holding.
It's in the backfield where you usually have that call. That's what it is.
And from the point of the infraction, Tim, where the infraction is at the 31. So you're going 10 yards from that.
So the Bruins going the wrong direction.
They had the ball back, down about around the 15-yard line.
There was holding on the play against the offense, repeating second down.
So you're talking from the 15 to the 40.
Yeah, they're definitely making it a lot tougher. Second down and 32 to go. Completes the pass to Williams, but he'll be well short of any even close to the first down. Got to go all the way down to the 9-yard line for the first down. He is at the 27-yard line.
Well, Tim, at first I thought the ball was intended for a different receiver.
Heritage 31, Woodside 7.
Williams caught the pass, but unable to add any additional yardage. So it brings up third down and long, and they need to get to the 9. Ball is marked at the 27. Franklin over the middle, got his man inside the 7-yard line. That'll be a first down, but
another flag.
Penalty flag down. See how they call this one. This will be crucial. Against Hampton, it'll be a first down for the Bruins. If it's not, third and super long. Watch the replay here. This was a nice grab. Good pass and a nice grab by Willis Overton.
But it's against the Bruins.
So the Bruins not catching any breaks at all with the officials tonight.
On the play, there was an ineligible downfield against the offensive team. A tight end was covered up by a split end on the end of the line. That penalty is declined because the ineligible receiver caught the ball. That's offensive pass interference against the offense. It's a 15-yard penalty and loss of down.
Well, we are benefiting tremendously by the explanations that are being given, and I would not try to repeat that one. But you heard it. So an ineligible receiver was the man who caught the ball, which makes it pass interference and thus a 15-yard penalty with a loss of down. I got to tell you, Bob, I've been doing high school sports football for a long time. I've never heard that one.
Well,
and I'm not saying it's not right. I'm just saying
I have heard that one before, where the ineligible receiver, because the outside receiver moved to the line of scrimmage, the ineligible receiver catches the ball. That's like offensive pass interference, and you lose the down.
Sure.
And that's exactly what Carter Ficklin is explaining to Tracy Parker right now is what happened. We gotta calm down our stat man over there. He's getting a little wild.
He seems to think that the man was not downfield because they were so confused.
The ineligible receiver was the one that caught the ball. So yes, he was downfield.
Yeah. So he was not covered. He was
not covered. The outside man got up on line of scrimmage and made him a tackle.
Created an ineligible receiver.
Right.
Automatically, as soon as he went downfield, he was ineligible. That's the way it was explained. Tracy Parker probably doesn't agree with any of that.
No, he probably doesn't.
But that's the way it was ruled on the field. So the Bruins will look at fourth down and 33 because that play not only penalized them 15 yards, but it cost them
the down.
This all started with those flag twirlers at halftime.
Up 4th down for Bethel.
Scotty wanted to show it to us again, but we would have to have it start from the
line of scrimmage before the
scrimmage.
ball is snapped.
Yeah. In any event, the Bruins are going to go for it. They need to get to the 9-yard line. It's 4th and 33. 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Out of the gun, Franklin feels some pressure. Throws deep. Got a man open. It's underthrown and incomplete. And to the Crabbers' benefit, it wasn't picked off because they might have lost yardage in the return. This way, they get the ball at their 42-yard line on downs. So the Bruins get some really tough calls against them here. The last one prevented a 1st and goal. Okay, here, let's see if we can pick up. Is this the formation that you were talking about?
No, no, this is the last play.
This is just the last play. Okay. This is the play that just. No, this is the play.
No, that was it.
This
Okay,
was the play.
Yeah, if we could run that back again, Scotty.
Well, we won't be able to. Yeah,
Okay.
that was the play in question, but it was kind of hard to see who was where in the lineup.
Well, it was on the top of the screen, and what you need to do is see the split end. It covered up the tight end.
Right. It's certainly a very.
Well, it would have been a flanker that became a split end.
Right. So now timeout has been called. Let's see if we can look at it, if we can, Scotty, one more time, if we can see how they lined up. Okay. Got a little time here. Okay, here's the play. Now let's see if we can stop it for just a minute.
Okay, yeah. If the man at the top, back it up right there, and see the man at the top of the screen.
He's got a white.
He's on the line of scrimmage.
He's got a white towel. Yeah.
And if you see the man that was covered up is the one that's going to go down and catch the ball.
The man we're speaking of, now stop for just a minute, Scotty. The man who is the ineligible receiver is at the 23.5-yard line in the middle of your screen to the left and up a bit. We don't have a telestrator, so I can't.
Right.
But he's right at the
there.
20. Yeah, right there. Circle him, Bob. He's at the 24-yard line. He was.
But this
man
is the one that made him ineligible because he was on the line of scrimmage.
The man you're pointing to is the guy at the very top of your screen, right at that point at the 25-yard line.
You'll back it up again, Scott, if you can.
So you had too many men on the line of scrimmage.
Well, you can have as many men in the line of scrimmage as you want, but this becomes ineligible when the outside receiver is on the line of scrimmage.
A tackle.
Right.
Okay. So in any event, a very controversial play, needless to say.
It was a good call.
And that was a great job with the Kramer people in slow motion. Great job, Andre.
The Kramer people or the camera people? How did Kramer get into this?
Well, you get your tires, right?
And a late flag comes down.
You see why you don't want me to do play-by-play?
There's a flag on Bob for talking. And you Kramer people are doing some great shit.
The camera people did great.
Back going to the end of the run.
They will be one of our sponsors for the next contest, we hope. How many locations do they have?
Just send them the bill, Scotty.
That's right. I thought we were doing a Seinfeld thing here for a minute. How did Kramer get into this?
We do have Curly, Larry, and Mo up here.
All right, back to the game. 39-yard line. We haven't talked about golf yet tonight, so be careful, Scotty. We'll get you there. This is Banks, left side, and Banks has some running room before he's drilled out of bounds, but not until he gets good yardage down close to the Bethel 30-yard line. 1:12 left on the clock. Clock stops with the out-of-bounds play.
Great camera work on that replay.
Great Kramer work.
And great job of Andre Mattingly moving that and getting it to show where we could really see it.
Absolutely.
All we need, Tim, is to tell Scotty, give me a telestrator so I can make marks.
Because we're going to have to erase this ink that you have on the monitor.
All this movement up here on my screen, I got to get the Windex out now.
Ink all over there. Nice job of circling the different players. Unfortunately, they can't see that at home. All right, so 2nd down and a yard. This is Banks, and Banks has more than enough for the first down into the 23-yard line area for the Bruins. So that'll move the chains.
I got the White House on the screen.
Get some Windex to clear off that screen. That's right. We're the only ones that look at it.
Hey, Scott. Well, that was Tim. That wasn't me.
I was looking at it.
Tim, Scotty, we got the
Bob wrote all over the monitor.
I'm not saying a word.
This is a quarterback draw. This is Stephen Wyatt.
We have watched this monitor more tonight.
Thank you.
Because we got it down here where we can see it instead of up above us.
That's right. You tell him. That was Bob telling you.
Of course, I just read what you wrote down.
Here's the replay. See, we're on top of this. Here's the
nice job.
That's good defensive play. Now, I believe that was that was the same ineligible receiver earlier who plays both ways. That was Willis Overton who made a nice stop, number 4, on the quarterback Stephen Wyatt, as the clock will run out here in the 3rd quarter. And that will conclude the first 36 minutes of this contest. No scoring in the 3rd quarter. Our score after 3 is Hampton 26 and Bethel nothing.
Are you looking for floor covering?
I am.
Carpet, tile, vinyl? Call Pearls and Phoebus at 722-1907 for free estimates. They are located at 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. John West is the president, and Rita Barker is the vice president. They're the authorized Mohawk and Armstrong carpet dealers. Pearls in Phoebus. Ron.
All right, here we go. Down to the sideline, and Ron Payton.
You're watching the Bethel Bruins on WHCS TV 46.
I know that's the part of the job he hates.
Well, we used to get to hear him when they did that, but for some reason we can't pick up the audio. But that was the Bethel Bruin cheerleader squad doing the plug for Channel 46.
All right, turn the camera off.
So back to the action here, as we had a good time for a few moments there. I hope you did too.
Well, I tell you, I'm so glad that we have Carter Ficklin explain it to us, because the fans have to be really confused.
The fans in the stands, at least.
Yeah.
The ones at home have been able to figure this one out.
They'll see the marks on the screen and everything.
Right. Will Jennings on the receiving end of the Stephen Wyatt pass, and that is a first down right at the 10-yard line.
Tim, who caught the touchdown pass on the slant before?
The slant pass earlier was McClone.
McClone, okay. Because that looked like the identical play that time.
Yeah, that was Jennings that time. And it's a 1st and goal at the 10. The ball squarely on the 10-yard line. This is Banks, and Alvin Banks is at the 6. Pickup of 4. You see the Bruin mascot. But sometimes when it's, in the 80s, you kind of feel sorry for that individual.
But
tonight,
he's probably loving it tonight.
He or she is enjoying the warmth. Watch the replay here. That was. 2nd down and goal. Stephen Wyatt lunges in for the touchdown. So Wyatt scores from 6 yards out. And that is his second touchdown of the evening, and it makes it now 32-0 in favor of the Crabbers, going for the shutout. And to stop this Bethel offense that had averaged right around 28 points a game, it's a good overall effort by the Crabbers on both sides of the ball. Aaron Whitehead will try to put on the extra point. High snap, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So the Crabbers extend their lead with 10:42 to go in the fourth quarter. 33-0.
Well, they need to score a few more points to get to their average of 40-some, but watch the replay of the touchdown, Tim. Great job. Just spotting the opening and dove into the. Nobody actually tackled him.
Huge opening. I mean, it's as if the Red Sea parted. He just had no problem.
Well, I think it was more of a green sea.
Yeah. The red parted the green sea. But however you want to say it, he was untouched into the end zone.
Yes, he really was.
So some of the fans, those fans are Bethel Bruins fans, they're not that particularly happy. They're just trying to stay warm.
Tim, I just want to send the best wishes out to a good friend of mine, Vic Sloan, who underwent an operation today, had a big mass in his colon, and they removed it, and it looks like it's benign, and we sure hope and pray it well, and hope he recovers and gets home and gets feeling better real soon.
Get a shot of Nathaniel Don't Rain on My Head Braxton.
What was he doing, a push-up?
He was down there getting a drink out of that coffee thing, and I'm going to want to check that coffee thing after the game. There he is.
Yeah, hold your hand up. Yeah, it ain't raining.
It ain't raining. He's the only cameraman we have that professes to be an Irishman at this point, I think. From the 10, this is Williams to the outside. Nice job of turning the corner, and then he is slung, if there is such a word, out of bounds at the 37.
Sounds good to me. That was Jack Francis, number 87, doing the slinging or slunging.
The slinging is right. Slung may not be. Yeah, it goes back to the Dizzy Dean era.
The slud.
Slud into second base. Because half our audience, 2/3 of our audience won't have a clue who Dizzy Dean was. Showing our
Dizzy
age.
who?
Dizzy who?
Is he related to Jimmy Dean? I know his sausage, right? Oh, there's somebody else I'm going to have to call now.
They're all about the same size.
Send him a bill, Scotty.
Right, Jimmy Dean. From their 37-yard line, the Bruins send double wideouts to either side. From the gun, Franklin. And this one is completed at the 45 to the 50.
Williams.
And keep on going to the Hampton 47-yard line.
And that was to Jimmy Williams.
Jimmy Williams, who plays the position of quarterback most of the time. But also, and we knew this going in, watch the replay. This is well done by the Bruin offense.
Jimmy's out of your screen, but he's at the top of the screen. Nice move right there.
And we've got whistles, but I think that was in the stands. Okay, I was listening to the whistles. I was afraid the play had been stopped, but no.
Is that an inadvertent whistle?
No, I heard some inadvertent whistles.
I don't think that was inadvertent. I think that was on purpose.
Yeah, someone in the stands blew the whistle.
There's a look at how much time we got left.
Yes, it doesn't speed it up.
10:04 left in the ball game.
As long as he keeps passing it, not complete.
Second down and 10. Good protection for Franklin. Boyd is nailed.
Nice hit.
By number 32, Larry Callis. Right there, let him make the grab, but ended up in a 3.5, almost a 4-yard loss on the play. Here's the replay.
Well, he closed on that receiver right there. Boom, Tim.
That's the way you teach it.
Well, it
Or
wasn't
the loss
really a
is the
gain,
case,
but
the loss is the case is.
yeah.
So they'll get 15. They'll move the ball down to the 35-yard line. That will give the Bruins a first down.
Well, is it from that point or from the line of scrimmage?
He said from the gain, which means from where the ball was. I'm assuming that. That's what he said, at least.
Now he's moving from. I bet he's moving from the line of scrimmage.
That's exactly so. He contradicted himself there.
There's a personal foul. Roughing the passer. Contact on the quarterback clearly against the defense clearly after the pass was released. Automatic first down.
So thank you very much, Carter. For won't have to use those Q-tips when I get home now. This is Boyd. Boyd gets to the outside, got a good block. He's looking for another one downfield. He cuts it back. He's at the 9-yard line, and he's wrestled out of bounds, but it'll be a first and goal for the Bruins.
Okay, now we do need to give him one payroll, right?
We need to tell Carter that I do the play-by-play. We had to go through that with you.
I ain't saying a word. He's down there. I ain't gonna run. You run and tell him, right? Whoa!
They gave Boyd 110 yards.
110.
Nice draw play though that time, Tim.
What is 110 yards?
Yeah. 5 ways to get it. Second and go. I think what we need to do is
close his mic
off or
down,
something.
because every time he blows the whistle, my earphones jump off my head. No, it's our time now. It's our time. Give me a break here, Carter. All right, here we go. Second down and goal.
He turned it off.
Thank you.
He figured it out. Oh, I've been leaving it on. They've been hearing what I've been saying.
Over the middle, touchdown. Nice slant. That's the passive choices tonight.
That's Spate.
That's a 7-yard pass to number 2, Curfew Spate. So the Bruins get on the board. 8:32 remaining in the ball game. And the Bruins will go for 2. Kyle Franklin leading this drive. Williams will check out. They'll give it to Boyd, and Boyd will be short of. No, now they say he got in. Second effort. So looked like they had him stopped, but Boyd did, in fact, get into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
He may have had a little help from the defender that time.
Looked like he was stopped from up here initially, and but again, the good ones don't stop until the whistle blows several times.
There was no inadvertent whistle.
That's right. You want to watch this again. This is the touchdown. Kyle Franklin just perfectly thrown to Curfew Spite. And again, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. It's spelled S-P-E-I-G-H-T.
Yeah, I would look like a Spate. But
Spate or Spite, yeah. Well, we do apologize ahead of time if we've mispronounced your name or others.
At least one way we're mispronouncing it.
Yeah.
It wasn't for spite.
No, I won't do that. And it wasn't for spite that we did.
I knew. Kill it. You knew. Kill it.
As soon as he got involved, you knew it. Want to remind you again that this fourth quarter is brought to you in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home.
And who's the director?
Nancy Staten is the director.
And I'm not going to talk about that other state.
No, don't mention it.
No way.
We do appreciate Park Lawn Wood being one of our sponsors. What is going to say? No.
If I mention him, he's going to send him a bill.
That's right.
I ought to do it.
You ought to do it. We can use the money. 8:32 left in the ball game. Hampton 33 and Bethel 8. Tim Cole, Bob Hintz, and the Channel 46 crew. Hope you're enjoying tonight's contest. Relatively short kick. It's taken at the 17-yard line. This is Alvin Banks. Banks just out of bounds. And he had some running room if he could have stayed in, but he went out at the 30. So that's where the Crabbers will take it. Here's the replay of the kickoff return. 30-yard line is where Hampton will have it now. 8:27 to go. Hampton with 1 timeout remaining. Bethel with 2. And I'm sure Hampton will be more than content just to get this last 8:27 off the clock and get home without any injuries. Trying to find out. I've looked over on the other side for, yeah, I see him now, Stephen Williams. He is over on the other side, and he's standing. Got a loose ball. I think the Bruins might have gotten it. No signal yet. And now they say Hampton retains possession.
Stephen Williams has been in.
Watch the replay here.
It's a pitch reverse, Tim.
So the Crabbers recover their own fumble at their 22-yard line, so a loss of 8.
Well, Jonas Watson, 54, almost came up with that ball.
2nd and 18 for Hampton. Going to be naming a player of the game from each of these squads. I've got someone in my mind already. Well, that was not the one I had. Here's where I was headed.
Oh.
Pitch to Banks. Banks turns the right side corner, and he is across the 30 to about the 34-yard line. So got back all the yardage they lost on that fumble and then some. Brings up a 3rd down and about 6 or 7. Let's see where they spot the ball exactly. Ball is marked at the 34. Need to get to the 40.
It's almost like a pitch, Tim, but it's a pass, but it's a lateral.
3rd down and 6. Crabbers need to get it to the 40 to keep the chains moving. Clock is moving now. We're under 7 minutes to go. Jennings is set up to the near side. Play action. Wyatt wants to throw. He's got his man perfectly.
Oh, what a nice catch.
I guess so.
Whoa.
Bassett. Woo. Solomon Bassett on the dead run. That ball thrown right on the fingertips, and he hauls it in for a 1st down at the Bruin 36-yard line. Watch this replay. This ball was thrown well and better on the catch. Look at this. He just stretched his hands out, and that ball was right there.
Tim, he came from the fullback position right through the line of scrimmage. And what a nice catch, though.
29 yards on the play. 1st down just inside the 36-yard line of Bethel. This is Banks, and Banks picks up a couple of yards.
Joseph Solomon, number 55, says, hey.
Got a little extra contact after the play, and a penalty flag comes down. This will be a dead ball foul. I'm not sure. I saw the action. I'm not sure who they're going to call it on, and I won't name the players.
After the play was over, there was a dead ball personal foul against a member of the defensive team. It'll be added on to the game.
So they'll go from the 25. It'll be half the distance. So they'll mark the ball right inside the 13-yard line, or right at the 13.
No, it's the penalty was back here on the 30. But the 33-yard line, Tim.
No, but they're going to add it on to the gain, which is at the 25.
Oh, I got you.
I thought that's what he said. Well, anyway, that didn't make sense either. They're down inside the 20 at, I guess, what, the 19? 18?
18-yard line, yeah.
It's an effort to keep control of the game. I saw what happened. It was just a little bit of pushing after the play was over and the flag came flying out.
That's one of the things that they stressed this.
No, and I agree with the call.
Had no warnings.
I agree with the call.
There's a nice replay showing it just looks like a scrum.
Looked like a rugby play.
Pick up, what, about 4 yards?
Second down and 6 for Hampton. They lead 33-8. Stephen Wyatt to the 10, and another late flag from the same official.
That may be inadvertent.
That's holding.
Oh, that's holding against Hampton.
Well, that was the initial indication that that official made. I think he's holding against the Bruins, actually.
During the play, there was an inadvertent face mask.
That's what I thought it was.
Against the defense. It'll be added on, result in a 1st and goal for Hampton.
Right there, as he was tackling Tim, he just inadvertently got the face mask.
Yep. So it's 1st and goal for the Crabbers. Ball at the 5. This is Bassett and another flag. This is Flag Day at Darling Stadium. Guys, let's just get this one over with. 4:47 to go and a flag on every play.
Watch this again.
Yeah, that looked like another face mask, and I'm not so sure that one was so inadvertent.
During the play, there was an inadvertent face mask. Typically a 5-yard penalty against the defense. It'll be added on half the distance, replay 1st down. We got a half. We got half. Replay.
Carter, turn off your mic. We hear you.
Well, he's coaching now.
Yeah, really. He'll be rolling on the credits tonight. We'll have an on-the-field play-by-play by Carter Ficklin.
That didn't look good.
Bruins say they've got it, but the official is telling you they don't. I'm gonna just watch with you. I would just let Carter do this from the last 4 minutes and 7 seconds.
Hey, careful, Scotty.
Yeah, really. You hurt Bob's feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to stop and think about that for a minute. Oh, I went off tomorrow night, Scotty.
That's right. I tell you what, we're all taking Saturday night off.
Done. See how I get
Done.
that?
Yeah,
Done just like that.
You're good. 2nd and goal, I think. And we've got early action here, and that'll bring another flag. Someone inadvertent offsides. That's right.
Oh, I wish they could hear Scotty. Jim, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Jim. I'm going to pick the player of the game from the Bruins.
Cool.
You do the player of the game from the crowd.
Right to the snap. There was a dead ball illegal procedure against the offense. Still 2nd down.
Are you keeping track of the penalties, Mr. Killen?
He ran out of paper.
Ran out of paper and lead in your pencil.
No, I ain't touching it.
All right, it is still goal to go is 2nd and goal at about the 8. And a slant pass is good for the touchdown.
And that's Will Jennings.
And that's Jennings.
That was almost identical to the first touchdown of the game, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Almost identical, but that was McClone. This time Jennings picks up his touchdown pass.
You impressed with Wyatt. How many, what's his completion and number of passes?
We'll have to check with Mr. Killen here, but he certainly has atoned for his rough game against the Hurricanes, that's for sure. Extra point try is up, and it is good. And a late flag, imagine that.
They ran over Whitehead.
Yeah. Well, feelings are getting a little, on the frazzled side out there right now. There's some frustration.
9 for 18.
9 for 18 for how many yards?
Nice job that time. Just a nice slant play.
9 for.
On the try for point, the point is good. The 5 yards will be assessed on the kickoff.
9 of 18 for 169 yards, and McClone has caught a pass, and Banks has caught a pass, and now Jennings has caught a touchdown pass. So he's got 3
touchdown passes.
Yep.
I got a question. Did McCool come in the second half?
Where did we get this guy?
All he did was say what I was thinking.
You guys pick on Mick. Don't be picking on Mick. He's
I'm
not even here.
No.
Hey, I tell you what, I'm going with the player of the game for the Bethel Bruins tonight. I'm going with number 2, Curfew Spate. He's just done an outstanding job tonight. He's my player. Now, I could have gone with Jonas Watson, Jimmy Williams, Ananias Boyd, Kyle King, Kyle Franklin, Joseph Solomon, Will Jennings. I mean, not Will Jennings, but there's a slew of Kyle Franklin, who came in for quarterback, did a good job. So,
well, and my job is just as tough if I'm picking one for Hampton. I got to be honest with you, because it is going to be a tough call, and I agree with your initial thought here. But I was kind of leaning to this man because he's kind of set the tone, and we'll probably have another chance there. And
well, I'll go with your.
Okay. Well, I like the way Andre Schuler has played, and by the way, there we are. Hi, Mom. But Andre Schuler is going to get my selection as the player of the game, and I could have gone with a whole bunch of other players. Stephen Wyatt's had an outstanding game at quarterback. Andre McClone's done well. Alvin Banks has looked good running the ball. Darylyn Fenner did some nice stuff. Will Jennings has come on strong. So no easy pick here. But I like the way Schuler started hitting early and then returned that block punt for the touchdown. He is my choice for player of the game, Andre Schuler, number 33.
We got Schuler and Spake. Congratulations to those 2 young men. We receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Engraving Inc., where Dave Buckwalter is the owner, and the shirt comes from Poquoson Sporting Goods, Islander Sporting Goods, located in Poquoson, and John Roberts is the owner out there.
Yeah, here's your kick return by Jimmy Williams. So the Bruins will start from their 28-yard line, down 40-8, as the Crabbers do hit the 40 mark, right on their average. This is Spate, and he does a nice job of evading a tackler out to the 34-yard line. That's a gain of about 6. 2nd down and 4, and mercifully the clock continues to move.
Did you hear that laughter down there?
I heard that.
Okay.
Well, when it's 40-8, get it over with, guys. This one is all but done.
All but done.
And all that happens now is someone gets hurt. Franklin, who's looked good coming in, throws and completes the pass
to Williams.
Nice grab. Actually, no, that was number 4.
Is that Williams? It is number 4.
Number 4,
You're
Overton.
right.
Willis Overton makes the grab. He's a big target, 6'3", 225-pound senior. So they mark it at the 49-yard line. I tell you, this is the mix-up that I like the best, is Williams receiving and Kyle Franklin quarterbacking. Not that Williams isn't a good quarterback, but he's very valuable in that receiving category, and Franklin's done a good job of throwing. Nice sidestep there, and gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. A good open field tackle by Wilson Banks Jr., and that will keep the clock moving with 1:17 to go, and neither team seemingly of mind to try and stop it. Each team does have some timeouts remaining.
Well, Hampton's not going to stop the clock.
No way.
Ron, how you doing, buddy?
Inside of a minute to play now. Franklin, plenty of time, throws, and it's completed. This time it is Williams who makes the grab at the 42-yard line.
But he didn't pick up the first down, and so it's third, and that clock will continue to run.
Yep. And we did have a penalty,
flag.
so we need to stop the clock. Penalty, flag, illegal procedure against the Bruins.
Did Killen keep the number of penalties tonight?
I don't know.
Play 10 minutes.
He ran out of paper and started
It was
using
an illegal
his fingers.
formation penalty, failure to have 7 players on the line of scrimmage.
17
against the
penalties.
offense,
Is that just
replay
against Hampton,
second
or is
down.
that total? 17 penalties?
No, they were three-way guard.
Total 17 between the two teams?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, and that penalty was you just didn't have enough men on the line of scrimmage.
Half a minute to go. Williams catches it at midfield, and that's all. He will be stopped there, and that could be the last play of the game. It's 4th down and 9. Bruins hustle to the line, would like to get one last chance. Overton in the slot. Boyd gets set just in time. And a flag goes down with 2 seconds remaining. So they'll have to.
I think we had a illegal procedure. If it was on the offense, Tim, they'll punt it, and then the clock can start right away.
So our players of the game, again, Andre Schuler of the Crabbers and Curfew Spate. We hope we
Disregard the flag.
We sure will.
Still 3rd down.
So disregard.
Here we go, Chris. 3rd down.
Disregard
3rd down.
the flag.
Hey, I tell you what official out there false time?
And that is going to end the ball game. As you said, when they picked up the flag, they started the clock again. And this officiating crew will leave rapidly. I'm sure Tracy Parker would love to have a civil conversation, but nonetheless a prolonged conversation.
Absolutely.
Flag on the field. Okay. Well, we want to thank our corporate sponsors tonight. This game brought to you by Zooms with 14 Peninsula locations. Also brought to you by Pearls, 15 North Mallory in Phoebus. And brought to you in part by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home, where your funeral director is Nancy Staten. There you see one of the youngsters on hand for tonight's game. Final score is Hampton 40 and Bethel 8. Again, we remind you, please join us next Friday night. We'll be back here as Phoebus and Bethel will tangle 7:30 game time. Final score, 40-8, Hampton victorious, 4-0. Bethel falls to 3-1. For Bob Henson, Bob Killen, and the entire Channel 46 crew, this is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.